I wonder if I can pull things up on the screen. Cinema layout. Press shift. Shift 8. I am pressing shift 8. What do I do if I want to add? If I pull something up on my screen, will you see it? Oh! Man, I gotta piss. Bob is supposed to come in here. We will see what's good. It's your sick girl. Favorite sick, sad, alien rapper. Here, Lexa Terrestrial. And I'm figuring out StreamYard. Is this Bob here? We got Bob. We got Bob in the building.
Hello. How you doing?
How you been, Bob?
Doing pretty good. How you been doing?
Good. You sound great. I mean, I've been hella busy lately, but I've been kind of depressed lately because just been dealing with this like sinus shit, breathing condition, just in general depression and anxiety. And my friend, who bless you, who clear the lungs out.
I'm getting over it. I finally got over my major lung infection part of it, but
oh my god,
my allergies are still affecting me. So I just now took some more of what I'm telling you to take that will help you.
this is
It's
Mucinex.
just right here.
Bee pollen capsules. I'm gonna look this up right now. No joke.
But you can order this online. I ordered 2 bottles. I got 2 bottles of this, and
Dude,
I
it
just
came
got them
right
in
up.
yesterday.
Wait,
I take
let me see the
4 of
brand.
these at a time. And with your weight, I would suggest about 3, and then see if 4 would work better for you, or just 2 will do you.
I'm pretty hard to kill, so
Yeah. Oh, this stuff you can't overdose on this. It's just bee pollen. It's like all natural stuff. So.
wait, let me see the bottle. Hold it up again. Okay.
And don't do any other variants. Only use the bee pollen.
Oh, here it is, right here. Motherfucker, it's $26. Could I like use another brand, or is that brand?
Well, this is the best brand that I found, but you can use another brand, or you can look around. Actually, if you look around, you get it cheaper. I got 2 of these for like $30. So.
Ooh, what's royal jelly? Bee pollen.
No, that's no good. It doesn't do you any good.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I'm asking.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. None of that other bee pollen stuff works. If it's got other stuff in it, you got to use bee pollen.
To the vegans out there, listen, okay? To the vegans out there, I'm still vegan, okay? Like
This is vegan. This is vegan, so you'll be fine.
Well, they say anything with honey is technically not vegan, but like
I don't see how, because the bee pollinates the honey, and that creates bee pollen. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally vegan.
Well,
if somebody's telling you that, they're lying to you.
The crazy vegans, they're a little bit, they're militant.
Well, yeah, people that only eat bread for every day because they can't afford nothing else, maybe. But this right here is good. I'm not a vegan, but I understand vegan.
I'll add it to my wish list. I'm going to put it under this. I have like a whole Amazon list that's titled ENS Healing. Like literally all these supplements.
If you shop around, you should be able to get this for like $10, 10 or 11 at the most.
Yeah, but I want to get this brand. Let's see.
This brand. You can get this brand with 200 tablets. You can even try the 100 tablets for now until you can afford the 200.
Oh, no, that's electrolyte powder. These motherfuckers.
Yeah, don't do the powder, none of that stuff, because it takes a whole lot. You'll run out of that quick.
What about?
Yeah, be sure to do the capsules.
Okay,
don't do the other, because the others turn color and you'll think it's bad and you'll throw it out, but you can still eat them and you're fine. They're not bad, and But get the capsules and you won't have that problem. They'll last you forever. Not forever, but it'll last you a long time. Now, I take 4 of these at least 3 to 4 times a day right now because I'm having an allergy problem.
Yeah, what are you allergic to? Do you know? Like, or is it just in general allergies?
No, I never went down to ask, because I already know from my past allergy problems that this will fix it. Whatever it is, it just takes time. And like right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm having to stop talking to swallow because it's draining me.
Me too.
It started draining me already, so I'm feeling it draining.
It's hard because I'm like, I got to swallow. There's like mucus and it's hard to breathe. So like,
yeah, but here within the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be 100% cleared up again.
Ooh.
I just forgot to take it because I spent some video on the internet. But if I'd have taken it in time, I would have been fine. But it lasts for about every 5 to 6 hours the most. You got to take them again. Or 3 times a day would probably do you. I've taken them as many as 5 times a day, but only during the extreme.
You can't overdose on bee pollen, so
no. And I was taking 4 and 5 pills at a time back then when I was heavily having allergy problem. But now I take 3 at a time. But when I'm having a flare up here because of now I'm allergic to something down here, I'm taking 4. So I just stepped it up to taking 4 of these at a time. And
5 is the most?
5 is the most I ever took at one time. You could probably take 30 of these at one time. You'd be fine.
You can overdose.
I'm sure you can overdose on anything, but it's almost impossible to overdose on these.
My friend always calls me every time I'm like,
so, yeah, but if you try out for your weight, I would suggest about 3 of these at a time.
3 is good. I fuck with that.
And if it clears you all the way up from the waist up, you'll be good. Now here's the deal.
Does it help with pain or like anything else or like just allergies?
Yeah, I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay.
When let's say you take 3 of these, and that's all you need. You don't need 4. You'll know later on. You'll know. Mom, I'll try 4, and if it works better, you'll be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would think 2 or 3 at a time would be fine for you. Probably, if I were you, I'd start out with 3 and see how that worked. But it takes exactly, and you can time it. It takes exactly 45 minutes for it to really kick in.
This is very helpful knowledge. Very useful, helpful knowledge.
Right. So any allergy problems or sinus problems you ever had, if you take these will not only clear you up while you're taking them, but within, I would say, 3 to 5 years, you won't have any more allergies where you live.
Yo, one time I went to New York, my eyes became as big as softballs. My eyes were constantly running.
Right. So you got bad allergies. I understand. So I used to be that allergic to cats. If I knocked on, say, a friend's door and he had cats, while I'm standing outside, I would already be flared up. And so I used to have super bad allergies like that. But right now, I can put a cat in my lap and hug it and kiss it. I'll never have a problem with a cat again.
That's a blessing.
Your life will change.
No, that is life-changing.
This is life-changing right here. And you cannot get this or anything as good as this from any doctor on the planet because they've never researched it into medical pharmaceutical. I don't think they want to.
No.
I think they want to keep selling you that bullcrap that don't work.
I've been to so many ENTs, and I'm telling you, they will culture me, and they'll just be like, "Well, I don't know."
Right. See, this ain't medical advice, so I can legally tell you all about this, and I can legally tell you that the doctors can go fuck off, pardon my language, when it comes to allergies and this, because this works. It's the only thing that ever worked for me. If I ever need immediate help, which is like once a year, it's this right here.
Afrin. Yeah,
I only take 1 injection because if you take it multiple times, then your nose becomes addicted to it.
Yeah, I know a lot of that happens. It's because that's your mucosal lining. Then you can't produce mucus.
And then you can't breathe. Right. So don't use this but more than once. But I'll use this and then I'll take that and then I'm cleared up and then I don't need this no more.
This is the first time in 7 years I've taken a Mucinex. So
you will replace your Mucinex with this. You will never go back to Mucinex or nothing else if you do exactly what I'm telling you. I promise you. And if you take this every day, not even during the year when you're not having any sinus problems or anything,
just keep taking
Don't forget to take at least 3 of these a day, at least I would say 3 or 4 times a week, because you got to keep it in your system for your system to be able to work up the antibodies. And that's what this does. It multiplies your antibodies like 1,000 times. So your body can fight off any allergies that you're having. And that's the reason you're having allergies, because your antibodies are not developing and not developing enough to fight off whatever you have allergies against.
I do have a very strong immune system. The thing is, my nose is botched from a surgery.
I understand, but you also have sinus problems and you don't need the combination. So you need to start on this.
I'm going to try
it. It will help you 1,000%. Now, I don't understand your other problems with that, but
Lord, you don't want
I understand you was talking about making a new device to help you breathe and all of that. So if all of the combination works for you, that'd be great.
Yeah, seriously, it would be a game changer. Like, that's why I wear masks and shit. Like, it sucks really bad. It does. The doctor surgically removed my nostrils, and then he severed a nerve, called me crazy, total psychopath, and then I had to go to court. Took this motherfucker to court. I'm not mad about the way it looks. It's just he did a lot of shit and then just like ditched me after the surgery and was very, very disrespectful. But
so what is wrong with you now?
So I had to get all these really expensive treatments for this disease called ENS, which a lot of people end up killing themselves over. It's horrible. It's fucking terrible. You can't breathe. And
how do you spell that?
ENS, like, here, I'll put it in the chat, but like it stands for empty nose syndrome, but they want to change the name because it's, I don't know, it's weird. But a lot of people end up getting it, and because they had suffered with allergies or really fucked up sinuses, or they broke they get a rhinoplasty and their doctor secretly they had suffered with allergies or really fucked up sinuses, or they get a rhinoplasty. He out fractured my turbinates, the sinuses. He like literally like cut them like with a knife, my sinuses, and that is like the worst. Doctors should not be doing this surgery.
What the fuck is wrong with him? All you needed was bee pollen. There's never a reason for you to need surgery on your nose due to allergies. Any doctor that does that is a fucking quack. You should be shot to death, in my opinion.
There's other ways. I agree. There's other homeopath, like therapeutic things, but like I could see if you have a broken nose or like structurally your nose is fucked up. Like now my problem is that my nose is structurally fucked up, but yeah, I don't know. Now it won't stop running. Before it wouldn't run. It was so dry. Every time I like took a breath in, it felt like I was breathing in needles. It was so painful.
Okay, the bee pollen will clear you up.
Yeah. I've never tried it or taken it, but this says it has Korean ginseng in it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Dope. Well, hell yeah.
Actually, this particular brand here that I'm showing you, let me read it. Hold on a second.
This is like, oh yeah, these are capsules.
Yeah, capsules, yeah.
Ooh, what's the company? Royal Jelly? Is that who makes it?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've had to spend so much money on fucking treatment and supplements and just like taking time to like rest and get better.
Okay, it has no sugar,
a lot of money,
starch, artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, and common allergens. It doesn't contain any of that. What it contains is only bee pollen, no ginseng. Bee pollen, 1,000 milligrams, and I'll show it to you if I can get it to show on the screen here.
Okay.
So this is only bee pollen. Hold on, let me turn my camera around so I can see it.
I'm gonna zoom in. It's super bright. Where's mine? Okay.
Okay, no, it'll come around this way. That way. See here, I can do it this way. It'll come into focus. Give it a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
There we go. I'm seeing something.
Hold on.
I think you have your camera flipped.
Yeah, I do that on purpose so that you can see this. Wait a minute. Is it not working that way?
I think you meant to flip it towards you.
No, I meant to flip it that way. I did because It's easier to see. Now let me get this into focus. I'll try to do it blindly. Oh, I'm holding it too close, probably, maybe.
Ooh.
It's hard to do it, even just straight. I'll tell you what, I can take no, I can't take a picture. I can take a picture to show it to you. But
in the Discord. I don't know how else. I wish
I could do it in a Discord, yeah, and then just show it off of there, I guess.
Yeah.
But let me see here. I got it right here. Okay. Okay. So can you see the phone?
I can, yeah, there we go. Yeah, move it down and move it. I know it's hard with a steady hand. Move it back a little bit. I'm seeing 1,000 milligrams of something. 2 capsules.
Right there it is.
Pollen, 1,000
only contains bee pollen, nothing else.
That's all that's in it. Oh, right. Shit. Yeah, there's no crazy ingredients.
Correct.
Yeah. I take a bunch of stuff. I take NAC. Do you know what NAC is?
No, but when you start taking this for your nasal sinus problem, you probably won't need anything else.
Holy shit.
Like if you take this 4 times a day.
I mean, not that that would save me money.
Yeah, it'll save you a lot of money. Save you a lot of fucking money. You won't need anything else up your nose to stop you, to keep you clear. You just got to remember to take it like every 6 hours. So
that's I'm good with that.
Like you want to take it before you go to sleep for sure, so you can sleep good. Mm-hmm. You know, and then 6 hours later you're gonna wake up and want to take some more, but you know, you will. But I didn't have any problem for 8 hours when I was sleeping taking that stuff. But if you take it every day, I'm telling you, 2 years from now, you're gonna be so clear. You're gonna be like, oh my god, do I even need this stuff anymore? And if you quit taking it, it'd be the worst mistake you ever made.
If something's working, stick to it.
Yeah, take it for at least 5. I would say at least 5 years on the regular. And yes, you'll be cleared up along the way, but don't quit taking it. Keep taking at least, 2, 3, 4 times a week to keep it in your system. Like 3 times a week at least, every other day kind of thing. And if you skip a day, don't worry about it. Just take some more. And you'll be fine with this stuff. I mean, it's the best thing I ever found. My life has totally changed since I started taking that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, like that, I feel that. It's very powerful.
I used to have among the worst allergies on the planet. The worst.
A lot of people say that. Like a lot of people have.
Yeah, like I would have to get up and do push-ups or something. I just could not freaking breathe. I hated it.
I still work out and stuff too, but yeah, it's like it's tiring, you know?
I really thought I was going to die a lot younger than I am now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I feel that. Me too. There's been times where
you start taking this stuff, your life will change. I promise you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob.
No problem.
Sincerely. I know it's like I hate spending money on myself, but I'll try it out. It can't hurt. Sounds good.
Oh, it definitely ain't going to hurt you. I already know.
Yeah. So this God stuff.
Let me clear your mind on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot your takes here. Bee pollen.
I don't study the Bible every day anymore. But I haven't for years because
that shit'll put you to sleep.
No. I used to study.
Sorry, God.
If I wasn't working, I was studying the Bible until I went to sleep and woke up. I had to force myself to quit studying to go to sleep on time.
Yeah. Damn.
So I studied all of the different Bibles, all of that. I ended up with the Catholic version Bible, even though I'm not a Catholic. It does have all the Bibles in it, or the books, I mean, and that's the reason. That, along with the other books of the Bible, help you to understand what's in the Bible. Like a lot of people don't understand the withered hand parable. Well, Jesus withered the guy's hand when he was a baby because that was one of the 3 spies that went out to kill him. They actually broke into their house where they lived.
A baby?
Jesus stopped them. The baby Jesus stopped them. And when one of them approached and said, we don't believe that malarkey, and they went to touch him, when he touched him, Jesus actually met him with his hand out and withered his hand. and then and he blind the other guy. That's why the blind guy begged for his forgiveness and he healed him. See?
So these guys were stealing something,
No,
and
they were there to kill Jesus. They were sent out by the king
to
to
kill
kill the
Jesus.
baby
And he
Jesus.
withered his hand and he blinded another guy.
Yeah, and the other one, and they all three left. They're like, "Oh, screw this! This is God." So they
Now,
left.
did TMZ report on this? Were you there? Do somebody you know was there?
Well, obviously not. We're talking about
I'm
Jesus.
joking. I know.
That's a good, funny one, though. Okay, so let me explain this to you. Understanding the Bible is one thing. Once you do what I just told you and you begin studying and you begin, another thing people make a mistake on is the outline of the Bible. And not only that, but when I say outline, I mean understanding the time periods of the different writings. So one part of the Bible will be written for the people of that time. And I get this all the time where people say, well, the people back in the book of Exodus, they used to burn pigs or whatever, some stupid crap.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, that was for the people of that time. They weren't even allowed to eat pigs for that matter, remember? For a long time. And then God declared all foods clean. And we eat ham on a regular basis now. It's the best meat in the world, probably, right? For a land animal.
You're a ham fan?
Oh yeah, I love different types of ham. I love bacon. I love all that stuff. So then, okay, I love sausage, for example.
My dad does too. Big bacon sausage guy.
Yeah, those are really good. So, okay, once you understand that like there are certain parts of the Bible that are just not written to be taken literal. I'll give you a prime example. When God highly condemns homosexuality, and here is where if you're going to a church and they preach hate against homosexuals, you need to not go to that church.
They're misunderstanding the Bible.
He's intentionally teaching it wrong. Or he's an illiterate idiot. And I don't think you want to be learning from somebody who's dumber than you are. You understand? Yeah. Just because you're not far along educated in the Bible as some people does not mean that you're not more intelligent than they are. See, yeah. I had some idiot teachers in high school that I know that if I got in a debate with them on any of the topics concerning high school today, I would own their motherfucking asses. They were that damn stupid. And so I know this. It's just a part of life, right? So, okay, here's the deal. I do cuss a lot. I used to drink like a sieve, but now it's just occasionally. And but here's the thing. None of that matters. When you go to the part where it talks about gay people, for example, okay, how about that other little part where God damns everybody to hell who commits any of these sins, and there's like a whole several paragraphs.
Yeah, I know them all. Right. I stopped reading the Bible at the time where
right. What that is, what it's explaining to you, and this is where people make the biggest mistake. Every sin condemns us to death. Every single sin. We are condemned to hell, which is death, which is to become nothingness. There is no hell that's going to exist where you're going to live in hell for eternity.
No, I don't. Yeah, I believe that there's nothingness. Yeah, you don't
even
know
that does not exist. So when God says you're not going to heaven, that means you're going to be returned to dust. There is your unquenchable fire, for example. Okay, so you're just not going to be existing anymore.
Aware. You won't even be aware you're alive. You're gone. You won't be aware of time. I know what it's like to die. I've died before. I know the feeling. So that's kind of what I think death is, just complete unawareness.
Yes, correct. So the same thing with homosexuality, the only part about that would change, and again, you need a Catholic Bible to understand this, because it's got the Deuteronomical and apocryphal books in it that the Protestant Bible does not have. So you got to have these books to understand the end times, for example. So leading up to the end times, in our time right now, in the Old Testament, the Bible clearly specifies who the, like in the second book of Kings, for example, it clearly identifies Satan and his three sons who would come to deceive the world into World War III. I personally believe that's already happened. And I'm not going to go into that today. Well, maybe later if you want. But we're in that time period right now. There's no question about that. John Hagee predicted the fall of the wall,
The one in Berlin, or
the Berlin Wall, and he did it using the Bible. He predicted it 10 years before it happened, using the Bible, and everybody thought he was crazy. He's a nut.
What part of the Bible? That's interesting.
Well, all the parts I'm explaining to you.
Gotcha.
So, just like, okay, I'll go ahead and tell you this. I wouldn't go into, but let me throw this at you real quick. So, it's my belief, and I could be wrong here, but I don't think I am, that the current Pope is Satan, come to walk as God walked as Jesus Christ. He's walking as,
oh man,
as a human being. Now, here's why. Because the Bible says that eventually one of the popes or the leader of that church, of God's church, would be Satan. And three of his sons would take over three of the nations and deceive the world into war. And then what happens to create that? The 200 million man invasion onto the rest of the world. And we've seen that. It's called immigration. The Middle Eastern Muslims went all over the world and invaded the world with over 200 million people. And who put it to a stop? It's predicted in the book of Kings, second book of Kings, that the one who has lived in the past was taken up in a whirlwind because he was too good to die. The same person was John the Baptist, would come again. And in fact, it tells you where all this would take place. To the nation directly west of Israel. Well, ain't nothing there but the ocean, but when you draw a straight line, you get America. Now, everybody that studies religion knows this part about the Bible, but they're really puzzled as to who these people are and what the time period is. John the Baptist would be reborn and would save the world from the 200 million man invasion. Now, I believe that to be Donald Trump. And the reason why...
Oh, my.
I know what you're thinking. But you know what? As you just laughed right now,
is John the Baptist, is he even religious though? Like, is he even?
Yes, he is. But whenever John the Baptist was John the Baptist, everybody laughed at him because he was a bum eating bugs out in the field. But what happened to him? He became the one to introduce Jesus to the world. He was the one that preached Jesus is coming. He was the one that was there when the dove descended in the air and it said, "This is my only begotten son."
Who is the guy that forsake God 3 times before the chicken crowed or whatever? Peter?
Peter, yes.
Okay. Wow. Shit. I know a little something. But what makes you think that he is like?
Donald's middle name is John, and he was president, and he was the president who put a stop to all that immigration. During his presidency, all of the other countries started deporting and rejecting all of those immigrants.
All the other countries?
It was an invasion on the rest of the world. The Muslim kings that own all the oil wells, they had these baby farms. They literally got women in chains. Slavery's never been outlawed in Islam. It was started by Islam, black slavery, but slavery in general has never been outlawed in 98% of Islam.
Really?
Yes, even India has a new law they passed a couple of years ago to where nobody who is Arabic is allowed to immigrate into India because they had immigrated so much there, they took over the western part of India, that they were not conforming to the way that the people believe and live there. So until such a time that all of them people have converted, they're not allowed to immigrate any more people into their country, period.
Holy shit. Literally, there's a citizen. I don't know much about this, but India's new anti-Muslim law. It's online.
Yeah, it's big time.
Citizens law discrimination.
I love you. You know why I love you? This is one reason, because you just looked something up. I just blurted out there that most people would call me a liar on. I always tell people, Google it and put me to the test.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't looked at the article, but when did Arabs come to India for trade? Holy shit.
I think it just took effect last year.
Muslims are not and cannot, what is debarred from having property anywhere?
Yeah, they're not allowed to move into India and purchase property anymore because there's just too many of them there now.
Okay.
They're not allowed to get citizenships there or anything anymore. Not until such a time that all of the current Islamic people.
No, I think it's saying they are allowed to buy property. They're saying that there's a Muslim person that actually is the highest bidder on a house right now. I'm not sure.
Well, they got Muslims there, yes, but no more. They're not allowed to immigrate there anymore. They're not allowed to like move there from Pakistan and become a citizen in India until such a time that all of the Muslims has integrated with the people in India. And that's probably going to be another 100 years or so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So they have become a problem all over the world. But this is the way they've always done it. During Genghis Khan's time, Genghis Khan was that he stopped at the last city before he marched out west to conquer land out west. And he always stopped, anytime he was there, he always stopped at this one house where his best friend was at. It was an older guy. But the guy no longer lived there. So he asked what happened to the guy. This is actually written history. So what the people that were living there said they didn't know what happened to him. They don't know where he went, but he no longer lived there. So then he sent out scouts all through the city to look for this guy, and they reported back, he's not here. In fact, there's none of our people here except for these people that are Muslim in the entire city. So Genghis Khan said, okay. He told all of his soldiers to dismount and kill everybody in the city. And that's what they did. And then he proceeded to kill off 99% of every Islamic person on the face of the earth.
Genghis Khan?
Huh? Genghis Khan did that.
Holy shit.
See, I'm very educated in history too. So, okay, so here's your problem and your dilemma with God. We are still in what's called the first lifetime. Some people call it the second, but it's not. You can look at it that way, but it's still the first lifetime, but it's after the flood life. There was a great flood. There's no doubt about that. We have 4 seasons now because a great asteroid hit the planet. We know that. A couple of them did. We need to speed up the Earth's core and the Earth's rotation around the sun as it starts to go out to wintertime and correct the rotation. We should have a perfect rotation around the sun and no season. But all of this was told in the Bible that this was all going to happen.
Yeah, there were some. I've watched a couple videos on YouTube talking about how asteroids were, they were talking about them in the Bible and they predicted certain. So
now you got to go back and ask yourself, how did Noah know that these asteroids were going to hit the planet and cause a major flood? There's no way he could have known
about a flood.
Yeah, well, there's no way he could have known unless God told him, right? Or some people say, well, the aliens told him. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that.
And here's the cool thing about the Bible. You can go into the first book of the Bible, Genesis, and read about aliens. Did you know that?
No, because I read it, and it was all like literally a timeline, the most boring tree timeline.
Let me help you out.
It was like, Bob is married to Sue, who's married to this.
Right. Okay, there you go.
How long is this going on?
Right. I was the same way. So here's what you do. You go to the section, who begot who, and you skip that section and start reading directly after. Now, as soon as you start reading directly after, I think it's about, 16 paragraphs later, you run into where God was asked a question. But God, what about the end times? What about on that last day? And God says, don't worry about the end times. Don't worry about the last day, because on the last day, I shall blot out all of your enemies to the north, the south, the east, and the west. And I shall blot out even all of your enemies in the stars above.
God said that to who?
Somebody in the Old Testament in Genesis. I don't remember who asked him, if it even mentions who asked him. I don't know. But somebody in Genesis asked him that question. Now, a lot of people have gone back and read that and just come back to me, and all they ever says is, wow, I totally didn't even notice that in there. Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
not paying attention to what you're reading.
Well, it's very cryptic too, and it's written in old time where it's kind of written in parables,
Yeah,
So
a lot of it is. Yeah. So there's another part of the Bible I like to point out to people that question the Bible's integrity, and that is if you go to the book of Exodus to where it taught where Aaron, he was given the rod of Moses, right? He passed the rod to Aaron, and then he went up in the mountain and died. And but God parted the waters for Aaron about 20 plus times. We don't even know how many. I'm not sure they even all mentioned in the Bible, but it's at least 20 times, just like he did Moses. So if he did that, who the hell would believe him unless Aaron did what he did? You know what he did? Aaron said, hold up right here, right in the middle of the river. And he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay down some 100,000 pound stones right here. And we're going to pull them up and arc them straight up and down in a perfect circle, 12 of them. And we're not going to leave here until you get to that mountain and cut them stones and bring them here. And they did it. And an atheist found those stones on accident. Not total accident, but kind of. He was out looking for them to disprove the Bible, and he was disappointed because he wanted to find them so he could become a believer. This happened, I think, in 1986, I think it was.
Holy shit.
Or 1984, 85, somewhere in there. And what happened was they built a new bridge, and he was down on the lower bridge, the old bridge, where he was walking across, and he was looking out into the river like, God, I can't believe I couldn't find them. And he just, okay, guess there is no God. And he looked down, and there they were. And they sanctioned off the area. They got pictures of it. They really exist. He really built the stones.
The Jordan
exactly
River.
where there's a highway at today, and a bridge that goes directly over it.
Holy shit.
So the Bible is very, very historically, factually accurate. Now, moving on with that. In this lifetime, after the flood, we're no longer meant to see God, although he does come to some of us sometime.
Yeah, I actually do have a story like that, and I still am like, it's actually a very wild.
In a minute too, but the stories are cool. But here's the thing: all you got to understand is this: when you get done reading the Bible enough times, you become to understand one thing: that you are only here for a test of faith. When babies die for whatever reason, God tells you in the New Testament, the book of Matthew, he points out that when this happens, that means I took your child because they were too good to have to live this life. It would not be fair to the rest of the people or even Satan if he allowed those people to live. That's how good all of these people are that God takes at a young age. That's what the Bible tells you. I actually, I think I saved his life.
So the younger you die, the better you are?
Well, if you're a kid, yes.
If you're a kid. So it cuts off at a certain point.
Once you become an adult, you're no longer a child.
Okay, so if you're under 18 and you pass away, you were a good person. And
if you have not reached puberty yet, you're still a child.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you out of here early.
Right. So you get a free pass into the second life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so in this life, you want to make up the decision to follow God. And this is my biggest argument with every Christian out there. Oh, you got to go to church. You got to be baptized. You this, you that. Shut the hell up. Jesus never said those things are required to go to heaven. He does say that you need to be baptized, but he also says, can't God baptize you with but one drop of water? For you have already been baptized and you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So if you choose to follow God, like from now on, you say, you know what? I'm going to accept you, God. Blind faith, I'm going to follow you. You are already saved because you now receive the mark of God. See, you always hear about the mark of Satan, 666, but you never hear, and that's just a number that they put to it. The Bible never says 666, by the way.
Yeah, that's all that's all aesthetics.
Right. But God's mark is done the same way as they put the number 1 to it. But irregardless, this is simply meant that in this lifetime, if you've already made up your mind, no matter what, you're gonna not accept God's word, that means you have now accepted Satan. So that's the way you're gonna go. It
I don't
simply
accept
means
Satan.
that if you're a good person and you accept God's way, which is simply that which is good,
If he's
which is
real.
why the people originally that were God's people were called the people of the light, because they were simply known as the people that believed in good and helping other people and doing good in the world and spreading what was good, pointing out why it's good to help other people be good and to help other people. So these people were sought after by the evil people, if you will, or people not of God, of these other stupid religions. So what happens is, if you choose to follow God, you receive the mark of God in this lifetime, which means you do not have to go through the second lifetime. Now, in the second life is done when this first lifetime is over, everybody's put to death. Once everybody's put to death, they are then risen again and given a new human body. However, you're not going to be allowed to be directly tempted by Satan as you are in this lifetime. They got to stay off of the highway. They won't be allowed to do you bodily harm like they're allowed to do now.
Oh, in heaven you're protected. Satan can't come up there and be like,
correct.
Yeah.
And only God has say so over who gets to die and then come back and live another life. Satan did that one time and God reprimanded him for it and told him not to do it again. You have to remember, Satan was an angel too.
Fallen angel.
He's a fallen angel now, correct. But he's just an example. So during the second lifetime, he will and his followers will be allowed to tempt you. So like while you're walking from city to city, they'll be allowed to, basically walk up next to you and say, come on, sister, don't you want to let me pimp you out? You can make all kinds of money. Why are you living poor like this? Girl, I can make you something. Just tempt you in all kinds of ways. But they will not be able to touch you. Nowadays, they can touch you, but in the second lifetime, they won't be able to do that. Now, those people will also at that time be able to see God with all of his glory, not just as God come in the form of man, being Jesus. See, Jesus was God. But that's what people don't understand because of his lack of power. See, in the Old Testament, again in Kings, he's described, or no, not in Ezekiel, I believe it is. Well, he is described as the one that will come. It even gives you his name, Jesus Christ. I don't know how you can not know that is God. If you've read the Old Testament.
The same, but I thought that God was Jesus's father, and they were kind of both God. But
that's the biggest misconception. Yeah, and people who are atheists deceive Christians on that because they play on our ignorance. I didn't know any better at one time, but after reading the Bible, there is no doubt about it now who Jesus was in my mind. I finally accepted him. Correct. Jesus.
That's what I thought initially, and then I thought I was wrong because I was like, wait, no. Jesus came to spread the word of God. So, but he's spreading his word. Okay.
The reason he's called the Son of God is because he was actually born as a human through a human named Mary Magdalene, but she was a virgin. Remember, they had her husband bent over and had a sword ready to go, ready to cut his head off. And then he bent her over and looked at it and said, "Ooh, nope, stop." And the guy almost cut his head off. He started to go down at him. And he said, "Wait a minute, what?" And he's like, No, she's a virgin. She's a virgin. She's pregnant and a virgin. They were like, they were shocked. But that's what happened. So they didn't kill Joseph. They let him live. And Mary had her baby. And it wasn't until another like a year after that before her and Joseph even had sex, until she became sexually active. Till she became an adult. That's what the Bible says. So, so there's a lot
that point in which the Bible turns into a manga.
Right. So here you got the man-child Jesus. You have to ask yourself, how is it that he could run around with these disciples in an area where if anybody else had tried to play that, they would have been killed? He actually, when he got taken into captivity and he knew he was going to be crucified, he tells his disciples, he said, look, his disciple rose his sword up and cut the ear off of one of the guards, one of the Roman guys, right? And he stopped it. Jesus says, okay, everybody stop. Why didn't the guards go to war over that with these disciples and kill them? Because they couldn't, because the power of God. So what happened was everybody just didn't fight, and he put the sword down. So he told him, put the sword down. So he took his hand, put it on a sword, and lowered it. And the disciples, they didn't know why, but they put away their swords. Jesus told them, he said, look, I will not be with you no longer. So right now you need to go out there and buy you shields and swords and get ready to have to protect yourselves. That was because while they walked with him, they were protected. They could not be harmed. But when he left, when he got crucified, all of the disciples were killed one at a time in battle and whatnot. So you have to remember those things. And two of them, or three of them technically, even started up churches, the churches of God. Two of them were taken down. One of them ended up in a roundabout way becoming the Catholic Church of today. So the Bible, the whole story makes sense once you keep reading it enough times and you sit back and then you just smile because the light finally goes off into your head. Listening to me right now will do that for you. I promise you. The more you go back and read the Bible, the more you're just going to smile that you even met me and got to talk to me. Because if somebody had told me these things when I was studying the Bible, I know that's what I would have been thinking. And but here's the thing. So God loves you. He wants you. But you have to make.
Did he tell you that personally?
I know that he does. There's no doubt about that. Now, I have met God. Before I started studying the Bible, I met him, and that's probably why I started studying. I was driving a truck, a big rig over the road, and I'd stopped off in Illinois, just south of the city, the last rest stop there, and I felt such an evil presence nearby. I didn't know what it was. Come to find out, the next year later, a whole entire Wicca community had been arrested for multiple counts of murder, because they were out there sacrificing people. And they were right there by the highway, right there by the rest stop. They owned all that land there where I stopped at. So I must have yeah.
That's wild.
There, and I felt that evil presence.
Yeah.
But I went on ahead and went to sleep. In the middle of the night, some dude got into my truck and woke me up. Said, come on outside, we need to talk. And I thought, who the hell could get into my truck? I couldn't hear him, and the door was locked. So anyway, I get out, I walk outside the truck, and I realize, damn, daylight. Ah, crap, I overslept, man. I'm late with my load. Crap, man. Right. So I walk to the front of the truck, the dude's standing there. I walk up and stand next to him, and I look at him, and I look up, and I said, oh, wait a minute. I looked at my watch. Still nighttime. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, if my watch ain't wrong and it's nighttime, how come it's daylight out here? And who the hell are you? And he said, you know who I am. I thought about it and I said, okay, if you're really Jesus, then I must have died. Where in the hell is the escalator at? And he says, there is no escalator. I thought, oh, great. So I'm going to hell? And he said, no. He said, here's my message to you. I want you to look up there. So I looked up at the clouds, and he says, do you see that? I didn't see none. I said, see what? Oh, you want me to go to heaven? Where are the chariots at? So he said, there's no chariots. I said, no chariots? Well, how do you expect me to get up there if I'm down here? And he said, look, you're not dead. You didn't die. He said, look, do you look up there? Do you see that? So I looked up, and I saw a yellow, looked like a sideways eyeball, one eyeball sideways. And he said, now those are the gates of heaven. And I said, but the Bible describes them as a narrow passage, hard to get through. And he told me, that's just a phrase. He said, listen, if you're going to get from here to there, then you must do one thing and one thing only. And I said, what's that? And he says, always keep your eyes on the gates of heaven and never take them off again. And I said, really? You expect a human to be able to do that? And he says, I do. And I said, yeah, okay. And I looked up there and I didn't see the gates no more. And I looked back and he's gone. Swear to God, he disappeared. And I'm looking around like, oh, motherfucker's going to think I'm crazy. I ain't telling nobody this fucking shit. So I got back in my truck, locked the door again, went back to sleep, woke up, delivered my load. And for 3 days, I didn't talk to anybody. Not even on the CB. I had people cuss me out because I wouldn't talk to them on the CB. I didn't care. I just didn't talk on the CB. Finally, on the 4th day, I talked to a guy. And he was like, oh, he does key up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm keying up today. They said, well, dude, man, where you been? We've been asking about you because, everybody knows who everybody is on the CB.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people I'm on the routes I went to, they knew who I was. So how come you've been so quiet this past week or whatever, several days? And I'll be like, well, brother, I'm scared to tell you why. And he says, oh, we got to hear this. So they got it out of me to tell them what it was. And I told them the story. And one guy keyed up and he said, hey, Bob, look here. I'm pulling up next to you in such and such truck. He said, where are you going with your load? And I told him, and he said, we're going the same way. He said, when we get to such and such state, I'm gonna pull off. We're gonna run together, and I'm gonna pull off and take you to this church. I got something to show you. I said, okay. Now, in my story,
wild.
In my story, the one part of the story I left out is what the gates of heaven look like. I didn't tell them because I'm not looking at them. So I didn't tell them it was an eyeball turned sideways. I didn't even say what the gates looked like. I never even mentioned it. And I remembered that much of me telling the story because I felt kind of guilty not telling people that, right? So we get on the trip, we get to the state, we get to the church, and he's able to get a few guys there at the church. So we're waiting on him in this room. And then this main guy that's running the church there, that's friends with this guy, he sliced me a piece of paper and a pen. Actually, he gave me 3 to choose from, 3 different colors. And he said, I need you to draw the gates of heaven right now, please. And don't let nobody look at it, not even me. I'm going to go in the other room while you do it. I said, okay. And he said, and I'm going to bring you a present. And then we're going to see if you're telling the truth or not. I said, okay. So he comes back in with 2 other guys, plus the guy that's my truck driver buddy at the time. So these 4 guys are in the room with me. And they asked me, they said, okay, Bob, would you unveil your picture of what you think the gates of heaven look like? And I turned over my paper and they go, wow. And he asked them to flip their papers over and they did. And they were exactly the same.
They were both an eyeball sideways?
All 3 of us drew the sideways. It was yellow, complete yellow.
Oh, okay. But shaped like.
Correct.
Sideways on.
Just like that. A little bit rounded, but just like that.
And kind of like.
Yeah, it was weird. And I never went back to that church. Lost contact with that one guy I used to drive with mainly because I changed routes and started going other places. But I never forgot what took place back then. I know that it wasn't a dream because it was way too real, I've had dreams before, but I never had a nightmare or dream like this. I never have since, never before. And so I started studying the Bible. And anytime I find myself maybe doing a little bit wrong, I always remember God telling me to keep my eyes on the gates of heaven. That's all I got to remember. And I'm back to being a good boy again. So I understand where he's coming from. He doesn't care that we're sinners.
Just let that be a goal and keep that in your mind or in the back of your mind keep that in your mind.
Well, and the reason why is because
something to live up.
Right. Because if you keep God in your mind and in your heart, then you will follow that, which will make you a good person. Now, he also tells us in the Bible which way you would weigh is which way you shall go. He also told me that night he was talking to me, but I didn't know what he was talking about until I read the Bible. In the book of Matthew, I believe it's chapter 15, he talks about the guy who asked him the question. He says, so on our last day, on our last breath, we can look up to you and ask for forgiveness, and it shall be given. Because God tells us that in the Old Testament. Jesus' answer to him was, verily I say unto you, that is not so. Just because you look up to me and ask for forgiveness is not so. For deeds without works is dead to me. Meaning, basically, if you're talking the talk but not walking the walk, you have not done what God asked you to do. So you could be out there killing people and then going to church and pretending to be a preacher kind of thing. You know, you're preaching for everybody else to be saved, but you're not doing it yourself. You're still sinning. Now, at the same token, Abram committed every single sin of the Bible.
Yeah,
Abram broke into a couple's house, raped the dude's wife, raped his daughter, and killed people in their family, and then stole all their stuff and left.
So is that why he had many sons? Probably.
No, Abram was so bad that in the Bible,
yeah, that's horrible.
He was the worst human that ever lived. So God walked up to him in the woods when he fled and left his family. His family kind of disowned him, kicked him out, basically, at a certain point. He became a thief and a heroin and a killer, you know, just a total bad guy. Well, one day God caught up to him in the woods and tapped him on the shoulder. And Abram knew that was God coming up behind him. He said he knew it. He just didn't want to face him. So he turned around and he goes, oh God, my family was right this whole time. I didn't believe them because I never seen you. He says, okay, God, I know you're here to send me to hell. So can you just get it over with quickly? God said, no. Now that you've seen me, you're going to become known as Abraham, and you're going to become known as the father of all mankind. Why did he become the father when Noah is the one that through his bloodline, all mankind of today are in existence? Well, the reason why is because he is the example that no matter what sins you have committed, it doesn't matter what it is, that if you turn to God from now on, that he will accept you. But you can't just do it with your mouth. You have to do it through action as well.
Yeah, like what's in your heart.
Yeah, you know? Everybody, all hearts know what is good and what is bad. Mm-hmm. So if you see that the old lady needs help with something, you go help her. No questions asked. You're not looking for a donation money to you. You just go do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, a lot of people I feel like these days don't really have a good heart.
And you're right, they don't.
Yeah. So
they have bad intentions because they're selfish, they're greedy. The root of all evil is money. And that basically means that people want for themselves. They desire for themselves more so than to give it to God and just follow God's word. If God comes to somebody and he says, I want you to sell everything you own, and they got like $50 million, they got a business going, they got a nice house, and God says, then after you get all that money, I want you to go give it to Lex Terrestrial. Go give it to Lex Terrestrial. They might not even know who you are.
I'd say no, I'll do it.
But they know they got to be right there at a certain time. So they show up, they see you, and they're just going to go, no, I can't do it. And they're going to drive off. They're probably going to go to hell for failing their test. That might have been their chance to follow God. And God would treat them like Job and probably reward them 100 times over, if not at least 10 times over, right? But these people don't have faith in God. Remember, Jesus said because they were amazed he could walk
It's
on
because
water.
we're so used to the human behavior on Earth that we don't trust God because we're so used to getting fucked over on this planet. We just assume
Correct.
everybody is going to do that. And we've never seen anybody actually follow through. Everybody just talks a bunch of bullshit. So how could this actually be, you know, we're so used to being scammed that
Now
with
you catch
peace and
on.
love, how the fuck are we supposed to have faith? You got to kind of help me here a little bit. Help.
Correct.
You know? Show me
So
something.
this is where I get questioned a lot. How can this guy who's so straight literally have so many gay followers? Like I do. I have a lot of gay followers.
Are you talking about you or Jesus?
No, me. I have so many people that are gay that are my fans.
God was gay.
Well, I don't know about that.
He might have been.
Well,
he was.
not according to the Bible. According to the Bible, he didn't have sex with anybody.
No, he was asexual. More asexual.
Yeah. But
I'm asexual.
The reality is I don't care who's gay or not. God doesn't care. He just wants you to come to him. Now, according to the Bible, in today's day and age, from now until the end of time, those who will be made to follow God, again, you can only get this if you got a Catholic Bible, not if you got an American Protestant.
Bible right over there. It's a giant ass one. It's like a founder's Bible.
Yeah. Well, get you a Catholic Bible, and that might be, if it's got the
big one. I don't know what it is.
Books, you need a Bible with all of those books in it. A Catholic Bible does have those books.
Oh, it's got everything in there. I promise.
Okay.
Well, I've only gotten halfway through, but this is it right here. I don't know. I don't feel like doing this. I really don't feel
No, you don't need to, but I would like to see it.
Book out, but you see, I got about to. It's got it. It's pretty big, but like, yo, check it. I don't know.
It's pretty good.
It's got everything, but I'm not saying I believe or don't. I mean, like, I'm open to the possibility. Oh yeah. Look, check it out. Look at this. You're gonna laugh. I don't know where Yins went, but yeah, I highlighted a part and I put rude. Rude.
The name of the guy who would become John the Baptist, who I believe is Donald Trump, it is Elijah.
Okay, why do I like literally that? This is around the time where I stopped reading because I was like, this is so rude that like I can't. It's
okay, a lot of those again are parables. Like when God killed all these people, or those people are simply there as put as an example to prove to people that in the human form we cannot live under God's rule with all of his commandments. We cannot do it. We're not good enough. So God had to bring us Jesus to forgive us of all of our sins. That includes those people too.
I get it, but this shit I don't like. Your younger brother shall be greater than you, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. Like, rude. Why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's a reward. It's a reward for his family.
And then they're all like, you know, the way they treat women here.
Don't feel so bad because your offspring are going to be great people.
No, he's saying to his son, fuck you. Your younger brother's going to get everything. Rude.
Oh, well, if he's bad. Yeah, I don't know what story you're on.
I don't
think he's bad.
So. No, actually, he was just praying. No, he really wasn't. I don't know.
Is that the parable of the good son?
Israel's last days.
Yeah, he left home, and then when he came back, he got rewarded by his father because the good son was really the bad son, and the one that got kicked out, it wasn't going to get nothing. He ended up being the good son because when he left home, he learned the error of all of his ways, and that his father's teachings were good and accurate. And he came back, and his father knew as soon as he seen his face that it was glowing with the glory of God. And so he accepted him back into his household, and with all of his heart, and he ended up becoming the good guy.
Now, this part I did put a smiley face, and then another one I put, fair deal. You know, This is the notes I put in the Bible when I read it. But
yeah,
I eventually was just.
They're just parables, though, really. Who knows if that part of the story really happened?
We got Yinzer in the stream. I'm gonna pop him in real quick. I do have to pee really bad, so my man, you could take over from here.
Thank you for having me on, Alexa. I appreciate it. What's up, Bob boy?
St. Nicholas,
we decided to pop in here. I have got to piss so bad. I have got to pee.
Got to put on my wisdom hat. I can feel the knowledge.
Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everybody.
I'm Cadabra, let Lexi go pee.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Abracadabra, let Lexi's new video go viral. Abracadabra, let it go fucking viral. And
let my video go more viral than Kanye West's entire life. Thank you. Okay, I'll be right back to pee. No, but seriously, I'm on my period, so.
TMI, but all right. Be careful.
You're welcome.
So what's up there, honeybee, Paul, and motherfucker? You, what's up?
Yeah, that's what you need right there.
Yeah.
And I do suggest that brand because I've tried several of them. I'm not saying there's not a better brand out or one that's not as good as that, but I've tried about 5 of them at least, and that one by far was the most steady and the best.
Yeah. So what do you think about the theory? We're talking about God. What do you think about the theory that Jesus was a black man or brown-skinned man and not a white man? How do you feel about that theory, Bob? He was brown.
Does it really matter?
Well, it doesn't matter. But if you look at the genealogy of Jesus Christ, I mean, he was brown. He was a brown-skinned man. Do you don't think?
Well, you have to ask yourself this: what color were Arabics of today?
Brown-ish.
What color were they then? What color are the Israelites of today?
Brownish, blackish, brownish, blackish.
Some were as white as me and you, and some were a little bit darker.
Yeah, I'm Italian, so I got a little, especially when I get some sun on my skin, boy. And man, I almost look like an African, almost, dude. I'm telling you, got a little. Italians got a little African in them. That's why I got a little African in them.
I heard a little bit about this when I was in the bathroom, but yeah, God, Jesus was, he was in the sun a lot. He had darker skin. He was Jewish. So he doesn't look like this photoshopped white,
Well, now I kind of disagree. If you go look at the people of Israel today,
he had like curly dark hair, a more realistic face, darker skin. He was Jewish,
but he did have long hair, mustache, and a beard. We do know that, and his hair was straight. That's obviously he was not a black man.
Where do they describe what he looks like in the Bible? Because
I don't remember exactly, but it is in there, and I do think it was not only in the second book of Kings does it give a very, very good description, but also in the book of Matthew and so forth. It gives a very good description.
They say Michelangelo or one of those artists back in like the 15th century changed the picture of Jesus to make it look like a white man to play to the white man
Okay, well let me ask you this, because what color are Muslim Islamic people of today?
Brown, dude. They don't look like your white ass. That's for sure.
A lot of them are brown, but what about the people of Turkey? They're as white as me and you, brother. So it can be a little bit misleading there.
Jesus looked like Israeli people do now, which they can look like many different things. Like they can look white, they can look brown, they can look this.
Did you know
so many variations? But he said,
you know that after World War II, when they blotted out the land of Israel to give to the Israelites, that how they chose the tribe to make the leader of this land. They chose the only tribe that had the direct lineage all the way back to Jesus, to their present day people. That these people still keep a record today of their descendants, and those are the people that were initially given Israel.
I really wonder who does that
after World War II, and those people were predominantly white. Those people were also the same tribe that was the lost tribe.
That's why I stopped reading the Bible.
And the tribe that wasn't lost in the Bible that ended up in the New Testament, writing the Bible and all that.
I'll tell you, you got the gift of gab, man. I'll give you credit. You can just
there was no
they don't describe what he looks like. Apparently, they describe what he's like, not really what he looks like.
And then it'd be lay claim to the land of Israel. It was the people of the lost tribe, like the parable of the lost son.
Yeah, no, that's why that was the whole reason the Israel was founded, based off the Talmud. That was basically their whole thing.
That's not pretty much accurate. I just want you to know that I mean, the reason you don't see God is because you're here for a test of faith. You're here to make up your own mind. So if you don't believe in him when you die, don't worry. You'll be back in a second lifetime, and then you'll see him. And then let's see what your excuse is.
I've had experiences like that, and still I'm like,
Because I tell you where you'll be at.
I'm not.
You'll be the person in the human body, and I'll be the angel-like dude up there floating around saying, "I told you so." Look at me.
Hold on. I don't know.
Be doing like this. You son of a bitch.
People that have died, though, we don't know where they went. They don't come back to tell us. We don't see them. All right, here we go. So he said Romans 1:28 has said something about, get out of here, George Washington.
Now you need to read the Bible a few hundred times. It only takes you about a month to read it front to back.
That's not Romans. Romans 1:28 does not say that. It says,
well, it's a Protestant Bible. It could take
just as they did not see fit to acknowledge God any longer, God gave them over to a depraved mind to do those things which are not proper. I don't know what that means.
He allowed it to happen, correct?
Here's 27 does say, and in the same way also the men abandoned the natural function of the woman and burned in their desire toward one another, men with men committing indecent acts and receiving in anal perhaps their own persons,
hey ho yum yum,
the due penalty of their error. Okay, so or is he saying you can't have a kid that way? Like you could do that, but that's not how you're going to have a kid.
Well, I don't know. You're not going to have a kid that way. I mean, to have a kid, it's got to be like Adam and Eve, baby.
I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't like this. I like to think that you can be what you want to be, and if you want to have a family, you can. If you don't want to have a family, you don't have to.
And you would be correct.
We can grow things in labs now. Like if you want to love, there's plenty of kids that need love, and there's plenty.
I don't want a kid born in a lab, but you're welcome to that if that's your desire.
Yeah. So
I'd rather get the woman pregnant, let her get big and fat, and then if she can't have a baby, just go ahead and C-section that baby out.
Yeah, I mean that's scary.
I'd rather her just shoot it out.
My ex had to have a C-section.
I'm too afraid of that. I am too afraid to. I'm very.
You'll be fine. All the women go through that.
I know, but I mean, I'm tough too. But I just, my life has had enough pain. I think I said this to somebody yesterday. My life has had enough pain. If
maybe you should adopt a child and just not have a child,
then he can maybe help my ass out a little bit and make my life a little bit easier and less painful. And
well, you're in luck. They could give you a C-section these days.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like I would prefer to have X, Y, and Z before I have a kid. So like, I'm not adding any extra pain.
Oh, I agree too. You should do. Yeah, you should meet your goals.
Yeah,
smart.
Don't put it all into one deal and say, okay, I don't believe in God because of this, or that.
No, but if
you're
God
wants yourself to short here, and you should not do that. Keep an open mind. Keep a broad mind.
I don't think I should be spreading my genetics. I really don't. I resent my mom sometimes for having me. So I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I guarantee you, after you take that bee pollen for about a year, you won't be regretting anything. You'll be saying, thank you, God. And then you'll be a new person.
There's always something, but I don't know.
Look at it this way. If God has allowed you to be challenged this way, you must be one hell of a damn great person, because you have challenges that you're facing right now far beyond what Jens is having to face.
Yeah, with peace and love. I mean, this isn't like the tragedy Olympics, but I definitely.
I mean,
Wish I were
his only challenge in his life is
like a
he's got a
normal
little
answer,
Peter.
but I'm not. I mean, I do struggle. I have
That
a
is
lot
a very that is challenging. I do struggle with that every day, insecurities and whatnot, Bob. So thank you for
But it
putting
is
that
pretty
out.
big enough.
Thank you for letting everybody know about my 4-inch tiny penis, Bob. I appreciate
Well,
that.
it's okay because
Oh,
4 inches is all you need.
I get no sympathy for that. If that were like if that's your only problem, like you need more problems. I mean, I don't know what to tell
I
you.
know, right? Yeah.
It's not about how many inches you
I
have.
got a lot of friends that got like
It's about how
5
you
inches
use
and all
it.
of that, and they're like, they never have a problem pleasing their woman.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a problem for me, but granted, like I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. I used to drive like a mixer truck for a lot of years. So, like, one of the guys I worked with for a lot of years, like, we was out on the side of the truck going, and we had to go.
Why is
Oh
he
yeah,
just gonna
I've
talk
seen
about
it.
the
And
size
this
of his
guy,
dick
he's
and
a
his
black guy
beard?
that had the smallest little thing you ever seen. And so I asked him, I said, how big does that thing get hard? And he goes, yeah, Bob. He says, it's about 3 inches, man. Don't tell nobody, man. I'm black and all. I'm supposed to have a big one. I said, don't worry about it. So,
Yeah.
well, him and his wife ended up separating because another black guy found out he had a small one. Same thing. They're out pissing water, probably.
Wasn't you, was it?
Well, him and his wife ended up getting separated, and he ended up committing suicide, unfortunately. But here's the thing. It is very sad, but here's the thing. While they were together, they had a great life together.
It didn't
She
matter.
materialized his pecker and divorced him over it because it made her look bad. Come on. All she had to do was say, so what? That's all I need.
I think you're just telling a story right now, Bob. I don't believe this story. You're just coming up with
it's not true.
No, it's a true story. I swear to God, this really happened. True story. And she ended up moving on. Nobody knows whatever happened to her, where she moved to or whatever happened.
That's so sad.
Yeah, she was dumb. I got to tell you, she also went and gave away $20,000 in 1 year of their life savings to a stupid church. And then when they needed money back to help them make their house payment, the church said, "No, you give, but we don't help." And I told her, I kept telling you, your wife is stupid giving them that kind of money like that. And she did. She was just one dumb person. And I don't know why he allowed her to put up with it.
You know what you said about, like, if God asked you to give, you give and you receive double. Like, churches are not God. And they try to.
Not all churches are of God.
But they're not, like, it's not like Jesus coming down to you being like, yo, what's up? Like, can I get $10,000? Like, it's a church. It's a guy. It's a pastor who probably wants his own private jet and has his own agenda.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that whole 10% giving thing was just give 10% of all your possessions and whatnot. Throw it in. They all put it in an area together, and then all of the poorest of the poor people, that every year they would come and they would just divide up whatever they needed, and then it kind of refreshed everything. That way they could start up new businesses, create competition for each other. Just kept the prices down. It kept everything functioning properly. And that's the reason they did that.
Okay. No, if everybody gave something that, if everybody gave X amount of money, you're saying that's what it would do?
Yes, and that's what it was described in the New Testament.
And I like it.
This is why Donald Trump was trying to tell all the billionaires it's time to give back. We've already won the war here. We know who won the war. He said, I'm not saying give it all back, but we need to give at least 80% of it back.
Yeah, but a lot of his policies helped helped billionaires not pay taxes.
What's wrong with that?
A lot of his
policies. What's wrong with that? Donald Trump lowered our taxes, like right here in Texas, all right? We don't have a state tax, like an income tax.
He didn't lower poor people's taxes.
Yes, he did. I'm fixing to explain it to you. He damn sure did. Let me explain it to you. I'll bet he did, and you don't even realize it because you live where you have a state tax. Okay, but on a federal level.
I'm not even worried about the state tax. I didn't pay much in state tax.
Okay, but on a federal level here, and I can tell you this because this is what happened with your federal tax. When he became president in Texas, the federal tax was 16% to 18%. So what was happening was, let's say if you're just paying 16%. Okay, you get your paycheck minus the 6%. That's a pretty good chunk of your pay right there. Actually, Donald Trump lowered it to 10%, and people noticed it every week on their paycheck. It was up $20 to $40 a week per paycheck. on the low end of the pay.
Oh, I pay after. I run businesses, so instead of getting money back,
well,
I
and it
pay
depends on
in
how
the
much
year.
you were. Yeah, if you weren't paying anything going in, then it probably depended on that too. But as far as
I
people
paid
working
around
for
the
people,
same
he
for like a
way
long
heavily
time.
lowered our taxes big time, and he wanted to lower our taxes down to 6%. And in my opinion, there should not even be a income tax, period. Because he was right going into office. If we stop giving these damn countries so many billions of dollars, if we just stop the top 3 countries that we give money to out of the top 10, if we just pick any 3 and say these 3 countries hate Americans, and we just stop giving them money, it's more money than all of the Americans combined paying an income tax. We do not even need an income tax in America. But the Democrats want to give it all away. They don't want us to run around with not having to pay any taxes. And that's one of the reasons why he said going into running for president, why he didn't run as a Democrat. Because he believes that things for the people by the people, like no more taxes. But during his second presidency, he wants to lower it down to 6%. He knows he can get it down to 8%. But he really wanted to go for 6% because he thinks he could get it down to 6%. But he didn't get reelected because they stole the election. But irregardless, he did lower it down to 10%, which is where we're at right now.
So, but yeah, is it currently still that? And was that only in Texas, or is that
no? It was all over America. And okay. I'll show you something else. Where's that?
I still don't understand though how you think the Pope is Satan.
Because he's described as every other bishop in the church as the most evil, sadistic pope that has ever existed in history. And if you know the history of the Roman Catholic Church and the evil popes that existed, that is saying something. That's like saying a whole lot.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about any of these popes. I don't.
Well, not all the bishops agree with him, but you know.
I mean, everybody.
They don't have to be yes men to the Pope, and they often don't.
People think, you know, JFK is coming back, and people think like there's a second coming.
Yeah, but I look at the overall picture, I guess.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know. It's that makes people discredit everything. Like one ridiculous, you know, but
they did that to John the Baptist, and he came out shining like a light. So I just put my faith in God when I hear all that malarkey, and I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is an insulin stick, right?
Looks like a pen.
Yeah, it does, but it's an insulin stick. See? The needle goes on the end right there. This one's out. I used it up. This one I used up. This is Novolog. See, I'll show it to you right there. Novolog. So before, when I bought insulin, before Trump got in office, I would pay $180 per box out of my pocket. Same insurance. With the same insurance company, after he became president, I was then only paying $60 a box.
What happened? How did he?
He lowered the prices of our medication, and he wanted to lower them more, but the Democrats wouldn't let him do it. They fought him tooth and nail over that.
My medicine.
They bashed him, they character assassinated him the whole way and made people hate him for a bunch of pack of lies with absolutely no facts behind them. But it really, in real life, everything he did was helping us. That's a prime example.
Now, for this 2024 election, do you think he's going to run again?
I hope so.
Do you think that there are any other Republicans that are going to run that might be a contender to him? Because I don't think there's any. I mean,
Trump has no competition in the Republican Party.
By the way, I'm not a conservative. We know this, but we're having a conversation.
I'm a little bit conservative, but I'm really for the people.
Wait,
this is how I chose Trump to begin with. I am for the people. I want the people in office that's going to help us, Americans.
They don't let people like that in office, though. If you notice, they don't let people in office with good intentions. a la
Well,
Bernie,
they're
a
there,
la
but
Bernie Sanders.
they're far and few between anymore.
Like, I think if you have good intentions, they make it hard. Like, if you really want to change things and you really want to help people and you want homelessness to end and you want the
Oh
billionaires
yeah,
to
but yeah, you're a
pay
rapist,
their
you're a
taxes, you are
misogynist, you're all
dangerous
of
to
these
the White
things.
House
You're
and they will
bad.
not
Yeah,
let you in. They
yeah.
won't let you in.
They'll make you out to be the worst person on earth if you do.
I mean, that's kind of like what happened. Like when Bernie Sanders got shot down, I was
Yeah,
like, I
they
hate to
stole
say
it.
this.
They stole it from him and gave it to Joe Biden.
Well, they did it the first time too,
Yeah.
with Hillary. And I said, I
Yep.
told my ex at the time, I said, oh, dude, I see what they're doing, and I hate to say this, but I really think that Donald Trump is going to be our next president. He was like, why would you say that? Why the fuck would you say that? And I was like, I'm not saying that I want that to happen. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen because y'all pulled this fucking shady ass move. And I mean, you can't prove that they set him up. Like, but you know, I just feel like they wouldn't let Bernie Sanders in office.
Well, I am the guy that started up the flag waving on the overpasses for Donald Trump because I never hesitated or had any doubt about Trump.
I don't like him. I don't think he was a good president. I think he caused a lot. I think he was a bully, a little bit of a bully. And I think even his wife was like, my husband.
Not really, but you know why? Because you've been brainwashed to hate him. That's why. But you got no reason not to hate him, and you got every reason to love him and his entire family. You've been brainwashed to hate a good guy, just like people were brainwashed that Bernie Sanders was a bad guy compared to Joe Biden. When in fact, Joe Biden is more evil than Bernie Sanders.
He's very mean. Donald Trump is very mean.
That's okay. He's a boss about it. He says, look, this is the way we need to do it. That's the way we're going to do it. You don't like it? Hit the road. I have no problem with that. Anytime you work for a boss directly, he's like that. If you work
that way too.
Build a house, you better build it how I tell you or you're fired.
I'm that way too. I'm very tough. I'm very like to the point. I'm like, let's get this done. Stop fucking bullshitting. Like I'm very, that's not a problem to me. Like, we need that in people that want to get far in life and run businesses and be leaders. But I feel like he was very hateful, divisive. I feel like he hated people and low key was doing.
So in other words, you think whenever they were character assassinating him while he was running for office, he should have just kept his mouth shut and let them just have at him? He would have never got elected if he did that.
Yeah, but he also probably, once he was in office, maybe he should have shut his mouth.
No, he couldn't because he was still under attack. Look, it's like this. If Donald Trump, I'll put it to you this way. From the day he said, I'm Donald Trump and I'm running for president of the United States, he became the only person that they attacked on both sides of the party line because they were scared to death of him. Because he was going to put a stop to a lot of the nonsense bullcrap these people were doing, stealing our tax dollar. And the way they do that, I'll tell you how they want to do it, socialized medicine. All right, sounds great. I mean, you no longer have to pay for medicine. But guess what?
Making your medicine cheaper.
No, making your medicine cheaper is better. It's much better. And I'll tell you, because if we go to socialized medicine, here's exactly what they want to do. All of your top Democrats are invested in the pharmaceuticals. Donald Trump was not. Now, here's what they want to do, though. The people that are invested in the pharmaceuticals, they want our government to pay for our medication for us, but they don't want you to really pay attention to how much our government will then start paying for this. Because this insulin, I told you I pay $60 for now instead of $180, which actually technically went up to $220 at one time until he became president. And thank you, God, for Donald Trump on that. But here's the deal. Our government will pay $1,000 for this shit. But that's your tax money. You're still paying for it through your taxes. So now Bernie Sanders has been, he wanted to raise taxes, but no, Joe Biden he's tried to raise taxes already. He's tried many times. His dream is to raise your taxes up to 60%. And he's said it many a times.
That better be for billionaires.
No, for everybody.
Billionaires.
For everybody. He don't care about billionaires. He wants you and me and everybody that's a normal
I don't
working
like
class
that.
person to have to pay 60% of your income tax.
Yeah,
If you're a billionaire, you ain't got no income tax. So who's he talking about? He's talking about the guy that works at McDonald's. Well, now you can't afford anything. You can't afford a car. You can't afford an apartment.
That's so
for fact. Google it right now. Google it right now. I'll bet you anything you want to bet.
I am. I
in fact, he's been quoted. I watch this stuff all the time.
Taxes.
He's been quoted saying he would rather love to take it up to 80%, but he didn't think he could. But he thought he could get it to 60%.
Everybody's taxes.
Income tax. In specific.
Income tax. Okay.
Put 60% in there. I guarantee you'll read the article.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of like Ben Shapiro articles coming up.
No, I'm just telling you what I've heard him say, darling. That's all I can do. You can disagree with me all you want, whatever. I'm telling you what he ran off of. See, a lot of people.
Here we go. Joe Biden claimed that he won't raise taxes on people making under $400,000.
Anybody that's making under 400, that's like a new thing. When did he say that?
I heard that's what I initially thought he said from the get.
Well, then how is he going to raise income tax to 60%? Because nobody is working for anybody that makes over $400,000 a year.
Only for the 1%.
No.
He said claimed by Joe Biden. This is fact checked. Nobody making under 400,000. I can send this to you. Nobody making under $400,000 will have their taxes raised, period, bingo. Unless bingo in some other world means like habeas corpus, like ass backwards, everything, but I'm pretty sure I don't think he's that. Actually, hold on. Critics of President Joe Biden are saying that his proposal to increase corporate tax rates could break out. Now that's corporate tax rates. I actually run a corporation. So
he also wants to do it on inherited wealth. And I got an article right here for you that's going to counter everything you just said, right on CNBC.
Okay. No, it's saying this again. If you make less than $400,000, you won't pay a single penny in taxes.
Yeah, I hear you, but I remember when he's running for office what he said, so I don't have to worry about. I got the luxury of knowing what he said. So if I go back and Google it, I'm going to find it.
I swear to God, if he's raising taxes, I'm gonna have to kill myself. So this better not be true.
He's already tried it 3 times since he's been in office, and they shot it down.
He better not. This isn't. I don't think so. If it is true though, Bob, it's been
from now on. What I'm going to do from now on, every time Joe Biden tries to raise taxes again, I'm going to shoot you the link.
Make me want to. Okay, now, yeah. Wait. Oh.
And I'll tell you something else, Joe Biden, that really tipped me off.
Wait. Daily Mail.
Texas is building a wall, right? Texas, because of me, by the way, and you could go ask anybody. I was the one that was calling our governor, and I'm the one that got to talk to our governor's wife when she answered the phone, and she listened to me for about 45 minutes straight. Greg Abbott signed a bill into office to finish building a wall across Texas, and then to help the other states do it if they want the help, like New Mexico and Arizona, because now they're seeing a need for the wall. Now that Trump's not in office, they want to take claim to that fame. And number one reason is for child abduction, right? Because Trump lowered child abduction 96.8% by simply securing the southern border.
I think this is what you're talking about. I don't know if I could put it in here, but this right here, it's saying that.
Just go put it in Discord. I can see it in Discord.
Yeah, it's saying that like your taxes will, like if you're making 500,000 to $1 million, you're still going to see an increase.
Yeah, of course he wants to tax those people too. Of course, he's got a little good saying that.
Good.
But the reality is, what has he tried to do? Let's go look that up in office.
I've seen nothing, and I mean nothing about him raising poor people's taxes. It's only and it is very specific on families making. Okay, hold on. USA Today, Biden's tax rate on a family making $75,000 would go from 12% to 25%. I don't know.
I'm posting this in your Discord for you. There's another one right there.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord, we're gonna have to, there's liberals in my thing. Wait, we got Mr. Rogers up in here.
I love liberals too. I'm a little bit of a liberal in certain.
No, I got liberal friends up in here. Who cares? I'm not afraid to talk.
Yeah, I don't care what your label is. What I care about is me and everybody that's like me. That's just a normal person in America. Yeah, we don't need these people coming into America that don't even know what the hell soap is, first of all, and then going in and working in restaurants. We've seen that over the past 40 years, this influx of food poisoning, because we got people working in our restaurants that literally do not wash their freaking hands at all. You got Muslims who use their hands to wipe their rear end.
Meat goes bad, dude. Meat goes bad. Meat can go bad really easily. I think it's meat. I think it's meat going bad.
The politicians that were voting in office, even some of the Republicans, are allowing this to happen. And what we need to do is band together as people. If you care about you as an American citizen, then what's best for you? What's best for me? What's best for you? I'm pretty sure we could agree on like 80 to 90% of everything when it comes to that.
I agree. I think we all do need to band together. I think
now if we do band together, then can't we agree on who to vote for by simply going and looking at the things that they want to do or that they do or do not support?
We're too distracted. There's too much out there. They're throwing too much at us. We're confused.
We're not too distracted if we get together. This is what I did in 2016. I ran the Trump Underground group on Facebook, and I was the guy that in all of the Trump groups, the reason y'all were losing so many arguments over there is because I would do things like this, like when the tax thing came out, right? And all of them had their tax proposals out, but Donald Trump. What I did is I got into Microsoft Paint, and I simply put all of their names up there, and I was waiting for Trump. And then I went and read their tax plans, and I put the numbers up. How much you're going to make, how much you're going to make after taxes under their tax plan, and then how much, also you might pay out extra in your taxes in the given tax and how much and blah, blah, blah. So I had like 5 categories there. Okay. But really the main category that people were paying attention to was how much money you're going to make, how much are you going to make after these different tax plans, and how much are you going to bring home at the end result. So really all people wanted to know how much money is going to be put in my pocket every week when I get paid or at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So, right. So I was doing it like monthly paycheck, weekly paycheck, and so forth and so on. So what I did was, they were bashing on Trump. Y'all were pancaking him on his tax plan, right? So what I did was the day he came out with his tax plan, I went in and read his tax plan. And I did it within like an hour, and I reread it again for 30 minutes. And then I simply typed in the numbers and I posted it into my group. It went from my group to every single Donald Trump group on the internet. And that's why y'all lost that argument too. And this is what I did from day one until he got elected, is I ran this underground group on Facebook.
What was it called?
It was called the Trump Underground group. The only people we had in it,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, he banned me for 2 years because I exposed him too when he said he wanted to run for president.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Mark Zuckerberg.
He said. Remember,
I want to know more about that. I want to know more. I want to know more dirt on Zuckerberg, because I know he's.
Well, what he did was he went to South Africa and he started up a school for computer programming.
Well, that sounds like a good thing. I mean,
oh, that's so nice. It does. And he plays it off as that. I want to help these impoverished people out.
Or he wanted, he's stealing their data.
No, they don't got no data. Let me explain this to you.
On the mall, and he's stealing their data and selling it.
Okay, let me explain these people to you. The majority of people in South Africa do not graduate with a high school level. They don't even graduate school for that matter. But the ones that do, they graduate by the time they're 13, and then they're off working on their own. It's only the 1% that get to go to any college, and they don't have any in their country, so they send them to other countries like England or wherever to go to college. It's Germany, France, Russia, other countries, or America. Some of them come here. It's very few, but some of them come here. And so the reason he opened up in South Africa, and he quickly learned or found out that he had to pre-educate those people to be able to have a school there, because none of the people there understood any math. So then he opened up schools in South Africa, which is good for the country, but he only did it so that he could send people to a school to teach them computer programming, so that he could hire these people for a fraction of what he could hire Americans for, and he does not have to give them any health benefits.
Yeah, so that's why anytime I have marketing calls with Facebook, it's a guy in another country.
Did you know that Mark Zuckerberg, through his companies that he owns, employs less than 10 American people?
Whoa. Hold on.
Google it. Mark Zuckerberg is such a slime and hates Americans so bad, he hires people from other countries. He imports people from England to come to America and go to work.
It's not saying anything. U.S. employees by ethnicity 2020. Facebook U.S. employees. Can't believe this even fucking exists. This is crazy.
I know.
This is so fucking crazy. Like,
well, at the time I did my research, I think he had only like 5 American citizens as employees.
It says their ethnicity, but not really like where they're from. But it's very terrible because you could see like it's.
See, this is the reason Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Mark Zuckerberg historically has been, I mean, it's gone up, but it's literally mostly white and Asian people he's hiring. He's not hiring
because he's married to an Asian woman.
I don't even see anything. I don't see anything about this.
I know it's in there though. You have to keep searching. You'll find it. But check this out. So Mark Zuckerberg, let me skip over to Mark Cuban. The reason people like him, the reason these billionaires didn't like Trump is because he wanted to instill a fair import tax. Another one of my ideas that whatever they're taxing us on a product, we should tax them to import their product to America. That's fair. So if they want to charge us 21%, we charge them 21%, equivalent funding wise, monetary wise, their dollar value compared to us, to import to America. Now, if you do that, the billionaires over here will want to kill you because they're robbing Americans by having crap made overseas and then importing it to America. And now you're paying American dollar for something that's way overpriced to begin with. And they get to keep that profit plus the profits of your American dollar versus the dollar where they had it made at.
Well,
they want to hire people
that is helpful
to $1 a day.
That's helpful.
But they're going to come over here for one shirt that took somebody 30 minutes to make over there. So that basically they paid $25 in labor costs and had a T-shirt made. And over here they're going to charge you $25 for this particular T-shirt. Now you go to Walmart and get T-shirts for $10-$20 all day long.
They're worse. Oh my God, they're worse. Right. They're literally got. Oh my God,
they should be broken up into 5 companies. They got them on that. But let's just say that's the case. This company imports those shirts, costs them another 50 cents to import it. So they spent $1, $2 max having this T-shirt made. They bring it over here. Let's lower the price. They sell it for $22. They just profited $20 per T-shirt. American dollars. Now, with that $20, how many more shirts can they go have made? A crap load.
But for people who are smaller businesses who make things in smaller quantities, who want to make things more extravagantly, they
make it impossible for you here because they want people to not have jobs in America because they want to clamp down on us so hard until we cave in and give in to socialism. Socialism is basically really communism. To me, it's the same exact thing.
Look, I'm telling you, the first T-shirts I ever made, Tokyo. And if I got them in America, I'd have been broke. I wouldn't have been able to make them or sell them or start my shop.
Right.
So for people like me, that is helpful. You know, it's not that cheap. Like for me, I still pay like so much money per shirt, but it's cheaper than I would pay here. People in America expect more and want to do less, typically. So
okay, but also typically, I can tell you this from being a working man in the construction industry. I used to be that laborer, dig the ditches and made the mortar for the bricklayer, and until I became a bricklayer. So I used to do all of that. I used to do the concrete work. I done framing. I done roofing. I can tell you this firsthand. If you think Americans are lazy, you're wrong.
No, I don't think they're lazy.
I know. No,
I know. Let me finish. Money for the same job.
I know. Well, because we need to have the money to be able to afford rent and food.
That's why poor people here are able to buy things cheaply, because China is making them cheaper. And in a sense, that is helping. I know it's not the right way.
They only make them cheaper, darling, because of the dollar value. Their yen versus our American dollar is pathetically different. It's only because of the dollar difference that we could say that they make them cheaper, but they really don't. They make them for the same exact price we do. They actually pay their people better than what they're paying us over here. Their people live better than we do over there in China.
I wouldn't be surprised. Their medicine is better than ours. I know that they're more
innovative. That in construction for the past 40 years, that the pay, the same pay for a bricklayer's helper never went up. It's never gone up. If you go do that same job, whether you're in Texas or Kansas, you're going to get paid the same money today that you got paid 40 years ago. The same exact dollar per hour. That's not okay. Absolutely.
Cost of living has gone up.
Correct. So when I was doing bricklaying, we had a 4-man crew, right? Just 4-man, 2 bricklayers and 2 helpers. We did a 10-house stretch, right? And we looked over at these 3 Mexican crews that we were surrounded by. And out of all of them crews, they did 5 houses. Now, explain to me who the lazy son of bitches are. See? No, and we ended up with more houses to be allowed to do and given to us because we were that good. And our bricklaying quality was better. You can look down a stretch of bricks on a building and a house in particular, and they'll be a little bit crooked, and you can see the shoddy work that they did. When you go look at our houses, the bricks were perfectly straight. The walls were perfectly straight. That wall's never going to fall.
Good. What's your complaint? Are you saying you're getting paid the same, but you're doing better?
No, my complaint is this, that because we're the bad people that were elected into office, our pay hasn't gone up because they've allowed too much immigration into America. In particular, illegal immigration.
It could be because they're a bunch of assholes who don't want to help.
These people in America will go out of business if we stop all the illegal immigration, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. And I'll tell you what else. Let them some bitches go out of business, because I'll start up a business and replace every one of their businesses.
What if there's like 500?
Well, there'll be 1,000 replace those 500. We don't need those businesses. If the business does not employ Americans, we do not need it in business. We don't need it at all.
They tried to raise.
If it's a winery, or if it's a banana farm or whatever, or an orange farm here in America, let it go out of business. Somebody else will buy it out, and they'll do better. And
Bernie Sanders was trying to raise. He complained a lot about the living wage and cost of living, and he was encouraging Joe Biden to raise, minimum wage to at least $15 an hour. Which
Donald Trump
and Biden did not do it.
Competition, you increase.
He might have in a couple areas, but he stalled it for like so long, and
right.
It's not what it should be.
No, it should be. We should be making at least $25 per hour on the low end. We should be making
enough to be humans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So see, I think we can agree at least that we need more money on our paychecks.
I mean, this is why I have to juggle all these jobs and like do things I don't necessarily want to do, just because that's the only way I can make
And I don't think all the liberals actually believe that we're going to get everything for free and they're going to give you $4,500 a month to live off of.
No.
You'd be lucky if you got 500, and everybody be living in the damn homeless shelter because there ain't going to be no jobs there for you because they want to automate everything. And that's a joke. And they can't make all electric cars either, because I'll tell you why. There are rich people that own those cars that what's his face owns. What's that dude? Tesla.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. They own these cars. The best ones that he sells today. They drive to work. They got to charge that car up. They drive home. Guess what? Now, if they got an emergency, they got to go to the hospital real quick because, I don't know, the wife's having a baby now. Uh-oh, got to plug the car in, and you need a gas-operated car to get you there because that car's got to charge for it.
Can it run off of both?
Huh?
Can it run off of both?
Some can, yeah.
Yeah.
The hybrid cars, yeah. But the electric cars can't. And so this idea that these Democrats have that they could just go all electric now is just not feasible. It's a joke. It's never going to happen.
Well, I don't know. Elon Musk has definitely got some shady takes. I think he compared like the Canadian prime minister to Hitler, which I think is he's like comparing the vaccine mandates to like.
No, actually, that's the
Nazi
best
World
thing he
War
ever did because that would be very accurate. Purdue
No.
is a Hitler. He's just like Hitler.
Well, then you would like Elon Musk because he's
Did you know?
actually
Did
like
you know that the party,
says he's a communist.
that the Nazi party, before Hitler got, and he was never elected, by the way. Hitler took office. He was never elected. But when he was running for office, they went around blaming all the other politicians for the very shit that he did, saying that they were going to do those things. That's exactly what the Democratic Party has always done in America. They threw all of this mud at Trump, but at the end of the day, everything he did was for the people. It wasn't the other way around. But now what you're seeing is those people are in office. What have they done for you? Name me 5 things that Biden that you can say he did for the American people.
There's a couple.
Name them.
I think the school loan forgiveness thing has been,
and that's atrocity. That's atrocity.
It's been a lot better.
Okay, so all these people that are paying taxes now have to pay for other people's shit. That's fair.
Biden actually pulled out of Iraq like he said he would on time. He
yeah, and that was a travesty. Look at all our people that got killed over there. Did you know that there's still Americans in captivity over there because of the way he pulled out?
No.
Yes. There were thousands of Americans over there that did not make it out of that country because he pulled out too fast.
Siri's listening to us. Siri just answered. She's listening to us.
Is that little thing that answered?
She said, yes, I'm being serious. What the hell, Siri? She's listening.
That's cool. So anyway, I'm just saying, you can name a crap load of things that Trump did. He done more than any president.
What has he done?
Okay, what about the trade deal? The American trade deal. He changed that. We were getting totally screwed over that deal. About 2 to 60%. So in other words, it's so bad.
I don't know much about it.
Okay, well, that's why. See, that's why. But here's a prime example. To import milk from America to Canada, you have to pay 60% of whatever that milk is worth to get it into Canada to be able to sell it. Now, here you got your brand of milk up there, 1 gallon of your milk to 1 gallon of their milk. But now their milk is selling, let's say, I don't know, $10, okay, for the same amount of your milk that you're selling. But now you got to sell that milk for $80.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to buy your milk even at $60. Nobody's going to buy that milk because they got the same milk over here they could buy for $10.
Mm-hmm.
It was unfair trade.
Yeah.
Going south and going north. We were getting fucked. And Donald Trump renegotiated the whole thing and he held out. It's just another thing that he did for us. See, you can continue to go through everything that Donald Trump did for the American people, but you can't remember anything that Joe Biden has hardly done. Maybe, okay, school forgiveness. That's good for those kids that got to go to school. But it's not good for the majority of Americans because we're the ones that are getting screwed because we got to pay the taxes for it.
I think he needs to definitely do something about healthcare and minimum wage. But
yeah, they don't want to do that because
I think he's done better than most people would expect.
Well, Joe Biden, yeah. Well, he's done like 2 or 3 things for this or that. None of them overall is good for the American people, though.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it. Nothing that Joe Biden has done is good for the majority of Americans. and certainly not in the long run.
I mean, I don't know. We still have to see.
I'll tell you what socialist education is going to be. Your kid or somebody's kid is going to go to school.
We already have that
education. But watch this. Those schools are private. Let me give you an example. Do you know who funds 90% of the money that Berkeley gets every year?
Tech people. I don't know.
No, China.
Because they take a lot of their students?
No, because they do it to a lot of our universities here.
Damn,
most of our universities in America are funded by foreign nations. Russia, China, countries like that. They're not funded by American people. In fact, it's very few colleges over here that are, and those are the best colleges to send your kids to. What our government wants to do, because all these politicians, they want to go in and invest into these colleges. They want to buy in as 1% owner or whatever. Then the government, instead of you having to pay your own tuition, the government wants to pay it for you, right? So you get free education. Man, that sounds good. But what if your education should cost you $60,000 a year?
Mm-hmm.
You could get a loan for that, which most Americans got to get a loan for it, and then they pay it back. That's the American way. In fact, it's every way in any developed nation on the planet. But here is what the Democrats want to do. They want to turn it to socialized education. Everybody should just have free college, right? Just like you go through high school and it's free.
I don't even think you need to go to college.
Here's the thing. Up until a high school level, your schools are locally funded. And this is where the misconception comes in that you don't think about and most people don't think about. Your local taxes within your own states pay for your education up through high school. Now, to go to college, most states, I don't know of any state that pays for that, because then they got to raise more property taxes and all of that. And it's already too high now.
Yeah.
So they can't really do it. The states can't send people all the way through college. What we need to do in America is lower the age for education to where you graduate school just like they do in Japan by the age of 12 or 13.
Ooh.
And then you're going to college. And then from 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old to 18 years old, you could graduate college.
Whoa.
We can fit that in with the funding, with our current funding that we already have in place.
That's an idea.
It
but
is an idea.
A lot of
because
people
other countries do it. That's where I got the
know
idea.
what they want to do. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
That could be good or bad.
No, it would be very good. I'll tell you, it would be very good. These other countries are passing us a technology because of the education system.
I know. Because
okay, so here's the other thing.
More doctors.
Set up the way we got it now, people need to pay for it on their own, whether you get it for a loan or not. Because if you don't, the government starts paying for it. Instead of paying $60,000 a year for you to go to school, the government's going to start paying $1 million a year for you to go to school. And they're going to make it sound logical why it now costs $1 million for you to go to school. But really, they want to do that because they want their investment to make them a good buck in return. So they get to be rich and you still get to be poor. And you're still paying them back all of that money, whether you paying it or you let the government pay it. The only difference is under free socialized education, they get richer and everybody else gets poor. Why
can't it just be like reasonably priced, like a community college, like $200, $300 a class?
Well, they have those. They have those.
I think if more universities
that little education only takes you so far. At some point, you still got to go to a top end.
No, I know.
School to become a doctor or a lawyer.
I think I think for those things you absolutely do, and it should be a little bit more competitive. But I still think it should be like, I don't know, for most degrees, it should be a little bit more reasonably priced.
You ain't gonna believe how I figured out that we could lower our educational age per person and why we should do it. I was actually studying each individual countries for their age for consensual sex.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And I was wondering, why does Japan make it 13 years old?
That's so weird.
Now, I could never be with a woman like anywhere close to the age of 18 or 21 or 25 for that matter, probably.
Yeah.
She would have to be so freaking mature. If she was 28, and maybe, but no, nah.
Yeah.
And, so here's the thing. So I'm courting this woman in Sierra Leone. She just turned 39 the other day. You know, I'm with Alicia Jordana. She got jealous over her and all of that. Okay, she's 33. So it's okay if I actually come back at her and I get through my legal entanglements this year. If that were to ever develop anything, but it's doubtful, but it could be. I got a lot of doubts there, trust me. But I can't say no because she was jealous, which means she feels a possession over me. So she is in love with me somehow, in some way. Okay, that's fine. That's great. It could be anything. It could have been my ding-a-ling pics or anything. I don't know what
power.
It's like. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just
ambition.
because we like everything the same. We not everything, but like I would say probably 95% of everything we like.
That's
hard to overlook. Yeah,
she doesn't want to lose that.
Right, and I don't want to lose her friendship at a minimum. We can just be friends the rest of our life. I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, you can. I don't see why you can't.
Correct. Yeah, but I thought we were just that to begin with. And then she goes out of her way to make it hard on me out of jealousy. And it took a lot for me to figure this out and for her to even admit to it. But okay, so everything's cool there. I'm fine with all of that. I don't hold nothing against her now because I understand. So, but I'm trying to paint a picture here. People try to make me out to be a pedophile and all this crap. It's just not true. Not even close.
Well, you'd be locked up, I mean, if you were.
I would hope I'd be locked up and a ding-a-ling cut off on top of it. I'm all for that. But yeah, but
justice.
When it comes to the appropriate age of consent, the reason countries like Japan do it that way is because a lot of girls at age 13 become sexually active.
Is it because of the school? You're saying they're going to college like at 12 or something?
If they graduate high school at 12, by age 12, they're in college.
So
definitely by the age 13 or 14, they're going to college.
That's so fucking wild. You know what? Hold on.
They go to school year round over there, so they're getting a better education. Their mind is constantly learning at a young age. So by the time they hit college, they're ready to kick off like a firestorm, you know, compared to us. They got 13-year-olds.
Wait, are you saying in China or Japan?
Americans over here in our own colleges. And Americans don't go to college until they're 18, 19 years old. Some cases 17, but and it's very rare that you get.
No, it's the same as it is here. It's the same as it is here. China, 9th grade, you're 14, 15, 10th, 15, 16. You're senior, 17, 18. It's the same there. China.
I said Japan.
Oh, Japan. Okay. 15 to 18. They graduated 18.
Not most of them graduate by 13.
Weird. That's so wild.
If they graduate at 15, they're kind of behind a little bit. They kind of wasn't paying attention in a couple of grades. And at any age over that, they're a dumbass. They're probably not going to get hired anywhere to work.
I'm telling you, everything on here said, oh, wait, no.
Do a little more research on that. I had to. I'm telling you.
I don't know. It's saying they're 18.
Okay, then why is the age for sex 13? Because it's the same reason here that we made it 18. They don't want women getting pregnant before they graduate high school because they want them to at least get a high school education before having babies. And that's why Japan's age for sex is 13.
Yeah, there's a woman here that's like 24 and in college for engineering. I don't know.
They'll go to college over there and then come over here to go to college for engineering. And they get a free education here. The companies here pay foreigners to go to school. They pay for all their education, give them a car, they give them an apartment and all of that crap. Like Boeing does a lot. They do it all the time.
Shugaku, middle school, 12
They
to
pay for all of their furniture, but they got to sign a strict contract. They got to work for Boeing for like 10 years or more to pay it back. And they got to pay for a lower wage. than just outright hiring an American. And that is another way they get out of hiring Americans by
I'm
hiring.
telling you, it's the same. It's the same in Japan. It seems
It's not
the same.
Look, I'll Google it.
I am. It's saying they go to high school 15 to 18, middle school 12 to 15, and they're in college 18 to 22. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
They do 6 years of elementary school. They go year round, so they get it done in 3 years. I'm looking at it right here. So they get equivalent to our 6 years of elementary school. They do it in 3 years.
Whoa.
So how could they possibly be graduating school at the same age that we do?
That's what it said. I don't know. That's what I'm reading.
I don't know, you must be looking at some goofy Wikipedia page or some shit.
No, I'm looking at like every one of these, but I have to like actually.
They got a bunch of them right here. It tells you it's age 13. Now there are some cases in some schools where they do drag it out longer, and I don't know why that is, but if they go to school like they're supposed to in Japan, by the time they're 13, they should be graduating high school.
Yo, that's crazy.
Otherwise, why would you go to school year round? They go to school year round. We don't.
This is insane. It said I put in, do Japanese people graduate high school at 13? It's saying some are 17 depending on their birthday, but mostly 18.
Well, that's new information for me. That would be totally different. Then I got to come back and ask, why do they graduate high school? I mean, elementary school in 3 years compared to our 6, and why do they go to school year round? That wouldn't even make any sense.
Hold on. I don't know.
There'd be zero reason to go to school year round if you got to take so long to graduate school.
I don't know.
So they must have slowed it down.
There might be something to this.
That must be something new.
This is weird. I gotta look into it more. But yo, I gotta go rest.
Kindergarten from 3rd to 6th.
For real. I gotta go.
Yeah, in China it is by age 15. They don't graduate high school till 15. No, middle school till age 15. They go to a junior middle school and then senior middle school.
This is, yeah.
Which is something they started up here in my lifetime. I never even heard of that. It was always elementary, junior high, and then high school. And nowadays it's all middle school now. You got your middle schools involved.
Yo, Bob, I gotta go.
Yeah, okay. I could be something. Maybe they're changing in these other countries that I don't know about. Because I haven't looked this stuff up in about 5 years, so it is possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it.
Irregardless it goes, I know you're fixing to go, but we can graduate our kids earlier in school. We can do that, and we could definitely do it by simply making our kids go to school year round.
And then, they're not gonna like that, but it could be done.
It could be done, and you should be allowed to skip a year for your kid too of going to school. But I don't like that idea. But I've had to argue that with people. And I think that we could definitely pay for at least 4 years of college within our states, but not on a federal level. But I don't want to see the government getting more power and more power and more power when, in fact, we need to be lowering the amount of power that they have over the people. Our government's already got too much power over us now.
Well,
but don't lose faith in God. No matter who wins the arguments out there, I don't care if you beat me in 10 arguments. Here's the thing.
Winning isn't the point.
No, it's all about what's best for the people. And I'm not saying we should lower our age for 6 to 13. No. I think that's grotesque.
That's no.
Yeah, it's grotesque.
I lost mine at 18, so many people are surprised by that, but 18.
I was pretty close myself. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I got a lot of arguments on a lot of topics. You know, we can talk about the gay issue all you want. It doesn't affect women the same as it does men for the most part. But there are a lot of diseases that come into play here, and a lot of problems with that, especially when it comes to men. That it doesn't even logically make sense to be gay.
Bob,
It don't.
I love gay people. I'm gay. You're gay.
I love gay people too, but you ain't gonna tell me to be gay just from the medical aspect alone.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many men out there. There's so many men out there, and I've known them right here that lives at this house I live in. They got to go to the doctor all the time because poop gets stuck so far up in there. They got to get the doctor to pull it up. And one of them had to have 5 cysts pop just so they could get to it. So, it's not healthy, darling. I'm just telling you, it's not healthy for men.
Well, watch out then, because aliens will possibly probe you. And as much as we're sanitary beings, we do go for the butt, for sure. We go for the butt.
I tell you, I would never do that with a woman. I'm never gonna do that unless she just really wants it. And then I guess to pleasure her in that way, I would do it, but I'm putting a rubber on. But I don't believe in anal sex. I don't need it. I think a woman's vagina was made perfect for a man's pistol, and there you go.
Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Well, good night, Bob. We'll speak.
Let me tell you people this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and donate wherever she's got her donation stuff if she has any up. And be sure to share her live stream with other people. That's how we get more subscribers.
And if this is any indication that we can get along as people, even though we disagree, I'm over here weird, RT alien, and Bob, we could get along. So I
love you. I love your comments. And if I'm going to be in here learning things, and then great. I love that.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll make it fun for you. All right. Thank you again, Lexi Terrestrial. I tell you, it was fun again. I think you're awesome. I really loved you when you were on my live stream. You're very respectful over there too. And I want to try to be my best as far as that goes over here on your channel.
Thank you. That's because I'm nice. I was raised properly, so.
I don't know about that. You just turned out right somehow.
I don't know.
Definitely get your B pollen, and I'm going to pray for you again on that.
Thank you. Tell God to just give me a freaking break. Tell him to be nice.
Yeah, well, give me your address and I'll have you some there by next week.
Really? You're gonna buy me some bee pollen?
Yeah.
Oh man. Thank you. Hell yeah. Yeah, I get in pain and I just get it sucks. But yeah, I appreciate it.
You live way up there north somewhere, right?
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's too far. Oh God, I'd freeze to death in Pittsburgh.
Wait, yeah, it's cold.
I don't know how y'all do it, to be honest with you.
I don't feel anything.
I think it's because y'all are acclimated.
I have no feeling.
I know that when I was in construction, I used to hear of people dying when they came down here from the north to do construction work, roofing in particular, because of the heat. They're not acclimated to it. Wow. And the heat down here will kill you from the north.
I get accustomed pretty easily to places, but it's not that bad here.
I wouldn't mind retiring in Florida, but that's kind of why I want to move to Sierra Leone, because of the weather, and it's hot there, but it's a different kind of heat. And I think I would do really good in those kind of environments.
Me too, actually. Get too cold. I want to move somewhere warm. Maybe. But yeah.
We had one day here where it got below freezing for 4 hours.
And that's it?
Yeah, and that's already gone, so we're not going to see another freeze the rest of the year here.
Well, you're lucky. I mean...
It was in the 80s today, so like 82, I think. Perfect. Oh, such perfect weather.
I'm jealous.
But in the summertime, it gets freaking hot and humid as hell. Here in Texas.
It is hard. That is hard on me too, because I do have a breathing condition. So I I don't like either extreme, but
Right. You'd do good in some place like Kansas or maybe just a little bit further south from where you're at, probably. Maybe North Carolina would be good for you. Be more inland, away from the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to go to the beach, you can always take a 6-hour trip and go to the beach.
Fuck the beach. But yeah, Bob, I will see you soon. If
All
you
right.
want to give me some bee pollen, I'm about it. But
Absolutely. I'll do that for you. I can do that.
really?
Yeah, I'll send you 2 bottles just like I ordered myself.
Oh,
Took me like about a week and a half to get, I think.
my
But
God.
I'll have it there like, I don't know, by next Friday, I want to say at the latest.
Thank you. I take so many supplements, it ain't even fucking funny.
Oh, you can do away with all of them if you start taking bee pollen on a regular.
I
But
spent
you have to do that for
$10,000.
yourself and try it for yourself.
Bob, thank you. Please
I've
do
had
pray
so
for
many
me.
people thank me about that when they started taking this stuff. They were just like, and I don't make a profit from this. I wish I was invested into that company, but I can
I don't
only
think
tell
they
people
sponsor
what worked
people.
for me. That's all I can tell you, you know.
Monster doesn't sponsor me, but I still drink it and
Yeah.
support. They're good.
God, who wouldn't want to be invested in a Monster drink, right? They must do really good.
They are great. They're really good. They're good for you too.
And I can't do that because
No, they gotta let it. No sugar. B vitamins, no sugar.
Yeah, but it gets your heart rate up so fast. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that's how coffee is for me. I can't handle coffee. Coffee's too strong. This is okay, but like if I have coffee, yeah, coffee will make me. I can't drink coffee.
I might want to try that though, then, because there's another guy that lives here. He lives on the other side of the house downstairs, and he swears by those Monster drinks.
It's not that much caffeine, but it is a lot of B vitamins. Taurine, guarine, bull piss, whatever else they put.
I couldn't do them all the time, but I could probably do them a lot of the time.
So you don't have to drink the whole thing. Just drink a little bit.
Could pour it in a container. It's got a lid to it, right? And put
no. Those are dangerous. They're big. They're way too big.
No, I mean I could take one of those and drink some of it. Actually, I could pour it in like maybe a used Gatorade bottle that I cleaned out.
Oh, it's so
that
much
way
better out of a can,
I can put the lid back on it and put it back in the icebox.
Yeah, I mean it's actually not bad for you. I'm not a doctor, but I'm also a doctor, so.
See, I got an icebox in my room too. The furthest little black box back there.
You don't even gotta leave. Shit, you could take up shelter there.
No, I got my microwave up there, my blender, my coffee maker, my Folgers coffee. You sit back there, right there on the desk, right there. My Folgers. That's my coffee maker. Fixing to go make some, I think.
Nice. Well, good night, Bob.
Like that.
Time for bed. Kisses.
All right. Hugs and kisses, everybody. Mwah.
And be in touch about this bee pollen.
And I hope next time we do a live together, whenever that is, that it's about a much more pleasant subject that we could just enjoy.
Yeah. Hell yeah, of course.
Food and recipes. I love food and recipes.
Ooh. Homemade, I don't know much about that.
Well, anything from homemade.
I'm Italian too, so.
Homemade mayonnaise. Like I laid some in our Discord today over at KF. What I'll do is I'll put those recipes over in yours, because you can make mayonnaise. You'll love this, being veggie that you are.
Yeah.
Without any oil or egg.
I don't like eggs.
Without any oil or egg. I like it with the egg, personally. I love it with the egg.
Most people like eggs, but
and without the oil. I prefer it without the oil. But you can make it very healthy. You don't have to eat the mayonnaise that they sell you on the shelf.
Yeah, no, I know. Yo, wow. Okay. There's vegan mayonnaise. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I got recipes for all that. I posted that today because people are always asking me about different recipes, because I have eaten with some very wealthy people on their yachts or in the mansions or whatever. And people are always asking me, Bob, how did you know about this? Or black what do you call it stuff?
Escargot?
No, the garlic, like black garlic. Oh, it's so good.
I eat garlic every day.
Yeah, but have you ever heard of black garlic?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you
I
should
heard
Google
purple
that and look
garlic.
up recipes concerning that. And one in particular, that is where the McDonald's Big Mac come from. They replaced the ingredients. But if you ever eat it in its original form, you can make it at the house. There's a guy on YouTube got a video on it. I've actually done this one time. It is so freaking good.
Black garlic?
Black garlic.
I love garlic.
It's used in the sauce that is replaced, that McDonald's replaces the sauce with. They use their sauce, but really where they got the idea was from down in South America from a guy that makes it down there. And they took his idea and they just changed it into something else and made a cheap burger. But it still tastes good, but it's not, it's all sugar and whatnot that you're tasting. But if you make it the way he makes it, it's absolutely fabulous. And what makes it so good in particular is the black garlic.
I'll check that out.
But you have to make the black garlic, or unless you buy it. And if it's naturally produced, then you get the real flavor. If it's not, then like, because you can buy it at Walmart, but it's not the same. It's not natural and everything. So, but if you produce it outside in a pressure cooker, for example, in the summertime, you'll have the best ingredient you ever ate for making a lot of food products.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I see. All right. Well, shit.
Yeah, you take the garlic, you put it in a container, you know, put the paper in there and all, like hand towels and all that, and then you just do it. You can read up on it and how to do it, and then you just you close it off with no air going in and out. Now, if you got a pressure cooker that's not good, it's not going to work. But if you use it in a pressure cooker, it'll do it faster than if you just leave it out to do its thing. And you don't want to do that anyway. You want it covered up. So you need a pressure cooker that don't let any air in or out. That way none of the little microscopic bugs can get in or out. You want it clean. So you let it grow itself, and then you'll know when it's done because you're going to go out at the right time and you're going to pop it open and look. And you'll see if it's black, it's done. Sometimes it turns out like a brownish kind of black color, and that's fine too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Now I know. Yeah.
It's really good for seafood and for hamburgers, like anything, any kind of food that really I can think of.
I make stir fries with it, and I make my own pesto.
Yeah, I do really good on stir fry.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so expensive that generally only your rich people eat these kind of things.
What? The garlic?
Black garlic. So like the real black garlic. So, but when I'm telling people these recipes, they're freaking out because they laugh at them at first and they're like, black garlic. Like, what the hell is that? And then I'll have to go grab a black garlic link and post a few of them on there, how to make it and all of that and what it is. And then people make them and then they come back and say, oh my God, Bob, that was good.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. So I love it. Yeah. If you ever want to talk about food or anything like that, I'm all open to that.
That's what's up.
Yeah. This next week I plan on making some more puppets and then my own brand new style puppets, my own invention of how to make these puppets. And it's a new
puppet back there.
Well, you seen the one I made, right?
I don't know.
I sent Lisa Jordana the sister puppet to this one. And this was the very first one that I made. She has the second one that I made. It's a better puppet because I was learning how to make puppets.
That's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, I like puppets.
Hey, baby. Dig it. Dig it. Yeah.
That is.
Dig it.
You made that?
Dig it. Yeah, out of a hand mitten. The hand mitten.
Oh my God. That's so
and that right there is styrofoam you buy at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And even made little hands. I haven't covered mine up yet, but on hers, the hands are even covered up with the material. And you can see back there if you look, that's where I made them. I never even cleaned it up yet. But I got to clean it up because I'm fixing.
These are really good. They're really good.
Yeah. Hers is better than this one, though. It's got more accessories. He's got a necklace that I could put on him. Hers has a like a pearl type necklace. And all of that. So hers has got a few more accessories. I plan on making the rest of them with even more accessories, like the sunglasses and all that. So when I sit, the ones that I don't keep that people want to buy from me or whatever, that I just gift away, will come with more accessories.
That's so cute.
I think that's really neat when you're making a puppet, because most puppet makers today do not provide a lot of accessories. You know, like the nose piece. I learned that you can actually send extra nose pieces. And like if a kid buys a puppet or something, say in New Hampshire, they could change the nose out.
I've seen puppets like that. Yeah, I made a puppet before.
This is Dig It. That's why I was saying Dig It instead of Ribbit, and he's a frog.
Oh, I thought he was an alligator. My bad.
No, yeah, most people do. He's a frog. That's why he's got the air pocket on the bottom. See?
Aww.
Surprise, surprise. Ribbit.
Dig it.
Yeah, and Kermit the Frog was actually a lizard.
Like a gecko?
Yeah. And he got mistaken as a frog at a park, so they just ran with it.
Why is he going around as a frog, Kermit the Frog?
Because some kids thought he was a frog. Oh, come look at the frog. Actually, the mom was saying that. And so when they went up and started calling him a frog, well, Jim Henson just ran with it. Hey, this is Kermit the Frog. Yeah, that sounds good. And it sounded good, so they ran with it.
Oh.
But he doesn't look like a frog, and he's not a frog. This is a frog right here. This is a frog.
He's a real deal.
On a real deal, baby.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you are.
Ooh, you're a looker. Damn it.
Well, thank you. I don't know how you can tell. Wearing a mask.
What are you doing? I'm kissing you, boy.
These things both ways. Frogs do fuck each other. They can. Frogs do that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, but anyway, but it's a fun hobby, I think, and I want to do like not only make the puppets this week, but I got a few other. I might do I might cook something in the kitchen and do a little.
Have a puppet assistant.
Huh?
Hand me the salt. What salt? You know what I mean? Like you can have a puppet assistant.
Yeah, I need to do that. Well, who knows what the future beholds. I do want to create T-Bob's Puppet Town and do live streams on another channel doing that.
I can see it. Yeah, for sure.
Doing really cool stories,
Story time with the puppets.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I think it would be big.
Yeah, I think it'll do good. We'll see.
Yeah. Either way, it's fun.
A PG show though, no cussing, none of that.
I mean, you could.
I would have the story pre-planned. Yeah, I would have the story pre-planned out and all of that. Like a puppet that's a mouse. Like I love your little ears there, but they're not ears. That's actually I can see it now what it is, but.
Yeah, my dad thought I was a mouse today. I was talking to him and he was having a full conversation with me, and then he turned around and he scared the shit out of him because he was like, "What the? Oh my god!" Yeah. So
I like it though. It does look like you're a mouse. And I was like, what are you? Is that a mouse?
I'm a mouse.
Yeah, you can pass for a mouse. But I want to make different.
Good.
I want to make different puppets that nobody's made. Like I want to do the rabbit puppet.
Mouse.
But I want my own rabbit puppet. And here's the cool things about my new puppets I'm fixing to make. To color them, you're gonna have to paint them.
Oh.
And you can paint them any color you want.
Are they going to be just like clear? White, clear?
Very, very clearish, whitish type of material that I'm using. But it doesn't come in any coloring. Like there's no pattern to it like when you buy materials like that. And hers, the one I made hers is just orange because she wanted orange. So hers is orange. Mine's got black stripes on it. But this is the brother to her sister puppet. I probably will never make another puppet like these.
Yeah.
Because I'm going on to making these next puppets, which I want to be the mainstay of my puppet making. And then I'm going to graduate into also I'm going to be doing the little string puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Those are hard to maneuver. They're really hard to.
It depends. Yeah, some of them can be. Yeah, they can be. I don't want to make them that difficult.
You have the little hand. You can move your hand.
Yeah, they can be. I don't want to make mine that difficult to operate. I want to make them to where they're simple to operate.
Yeah, this puppet here is actually, hold on, wait, let me see. I'm going to give, this is my friend Andrew's puppet.
Yeah, he's a good looking puppet.
You are, aren't you? Yeah. He passed away. And so I kind of like to feel like he's there with me as like little puppet. But yeah, he's
a character. See, and that's where I'm aiming for right there. I'm going to make puppets that have character to them.
Hell yeah, man.
Right. So they won't all be made out of the clear material. A lot of them, they'll all be made different. But my mainstay puppet are going to be all made out of the clear material. And they'll have hair like him, some of them. And some of them will have the bigger eyes like him. And some of them little tiny eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I do a bird one, I'll have the little beaks. You'll probably only use 2 fingers to move the mouth.
Aww. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because of the beak.
He's got a leather jacket on.
Yeah,
I don't know where you find this stuff, but I kind of decked him out a little bit. But
some of the people do the sewing thing, so they make their own stuff like jackets or pants and whatever I provide on my puppets are going to be purchased.
Oh shit! Yeah. COVID, once COVID hit, I made sure.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's an accessory. That's so cool.
But yeah,
I like him. He's really,
it's bedtime,
and his eyes give him the like the rendition of a nose, so he didn't really have to put a nose on him.
Yeah, no, he looks I like him better with the beard. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I'm tired. I need to crash. Ugh.
Good night, Bob.
Good night, folks. Thanks again, Lexa, for having me on. I hope I was able to help you in some way. Just passing knowledge, from me to you.
Well, thank you. Likewise.
Anytime you could teach me anything, my mind is like a sponge.
I mean, that's a good thing. I try to be. I just think I'm I'm a little bit cynical,
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind cynical.
Yeah. It's just because I've been through a lot of shit. But I'm going to go make some food and crash. But
I'm glad to see you in better mood.
I don't know. I'm still kind of sick and in pain, but doing my best.
Yeah. No, I know you recently went through a lot. You separated from your boyfriend. No? You back together?
No, I don't have a boyfriend's never existed. Yeah. No, I haven't had a boyfriend in a long time. So
well, who'd you separate from?
Nobody.
I thought that's what you was telling me the other day. You separated from some guy or something.
Nope.
Was it a female?
Nope.
I don't know why. I have to go back and read our conversation. I'm going to question you about that.
Yeah, I don't. The reason I'm not dating is because I don't need any more stress. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I don't have time. I'm sick. I'm a sick girl. I'm trying to do.
Well, if you have a guy who's trying to help you and not putting stress on you.
Boyfriends are annoying.
They shouldn't be though. That's the thing about it.
No, they shouldn't be. But
if you're dating a guy that is stressed,
they're very frustrating.
Yeah, you're with the wrong guy. That's like I tell guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm not with them. So
if she's causing you problems, you're with the wrong person.
I know. I don't think I want any commitment is the thing, but that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
Gotta end the broadcast.
All right, I'm out of here.
Bob, ladies and gentlemen.
Toodaloo.
Good night, Bob. And good night, everybody. Lexa out.